Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the show. I will be attending the RapsCon and Raps VIP in Long Beach on August 2nd to the 4th. I'll also be doing podcast interviews, so if you're interested in getting in an interview with me, please contact me via email at allwrappeduppodcast.com. Head over there for more information to set up time and date. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the 3rd Annual Raps VIP on August 3rd at 8 p.m. in Long Beach, California, right after RapsCon. This event is hosted by the IBOW, Dub IR, and Rapper Mapper, with sponsors like Orfold, 3M, Avery Dennison, along with tons of additional sponsors, networks, tools, and shops. Raps VIP is a totally free event by the rap industry for the rap industry. Everyone is welcome and all aspects of the industry are respected and supported. They'll also be having a classic car show with wrapped cars from the 50s and 60s. And what's an event without a little bit of competition? So they'll also be doing a die-cast car wrapping competition. There'll also be a live broadcast with yours truly from the Raps VIP event and some sit-down talks with some industry leaders. For more information, check out rapsvipevent.com. They'll also be posting some information and some updated stuff on their social media account. So head over to rapsvipevent.com to get any more additional information about the event. Now here's a brand new episode of All Wrapped Up.
Back in those days when I was doing graffiti, I don't know how I would get like pieces of vinyl from I don't know where, and I'll tag on the vinyl with an X-Acto knife. I will cut out the letters. I'll get masking tape, put it on top of the letters. I don't know how I figured this out, but I'm pretty sure I went through a couple of sheets of vinyl doing this. I put masking tape, and like I figured a way that to transfer that to wherever I wanted, like stop signs and like walls and all that. And it wasn't like 2 years after I started working at a printing center, I was like, wait. This is how it works?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to All Wrapped Up Podcast. We'll be interviewing industry-leading rap companies to share tips, tricks, stories, and more. All right, so we'll go live on the podcast today. We've got Hannier Dominguez from House of Raps. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Same old. Happy Monday, bro.
Happy Monday indeed. I love Mondays.
Yeah, you're a Monday guy?
Mondays. I'm an everyday guy, dude. Every day I wake up, dude, it's a different day for me, so it's freaking awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, let's just get right into it then. What do you got going on for this week?
Going on for this week, today was actually a pretty rainy day out here, so I have a H3 at the shop trying to get the old wrap off there. It's probably been there a good 6 years. And it's actually Arlon.
Okay.
So it's actually, I mean, they're getting it removed there at the shop. I was just gonna finish the rest of it today so I could get a head start on it because I got some other stuff this week rolling in. But so it's that H3. I actually stripped it down today, took all the flares out and the mirrors, trying to get to the door handles. Actually posted something on the Rap Society earlier today about the door handles. That's giving me an issue because the people who I guess stripped it down before when they first wrapped it, dude, I think it's like broken clips, missing screws, and I'm like, and everything is wrapped by the back with edge tape.
Ugh.
So yeah, so I had to strip it down so the kid that's removing it could, completely remove it. So yeah, got that. Got some racing stripes, a sport bike stripe job that I have to do tomorrow. That'll be in another place where we'll later on talk about that. I got a police cruiser that I have to do.
Nice.
And then, probably some roof wraps here and there. I don't know. But that's pretty much this week.
A lot of your stuff color change for the most part?
Well, no. I actually personally, like about 3 years ago, stopped going after color change
Mm-hmm.
and started just focusing on more commercial because that's where the money is. That's where the constant, the money is, and it's so secure
Right.
there. Especially, especially me that I come from that industry of printing and signs.
Mm-hmm.
Going on probably like, damn, going like 14 years already or 15 years.
Wow.
It's in me to do that. That's what I love to do is the commercial stuff. I love custom wraps. That's my specialty, but for me, it's more like a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
more for like showcasing the level of details that could go into a wrap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not just like the commercial stuff. Yeah, of course, it's as detailed, but you don't really, like cut everything flush and boom, 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 bada bing, and out the door.
Right.
Custom wraps, the whole breakdown and getting every single corner just, as flawless as possible, of course, because it's not really 1,000%, but you can get it to that closeness. Whereas once you build everything back together and you see, you're like, holy shit.
Yep.
It's phenomenal, and I actually I was one of the first ones that I know of out here to do custom wraps about like I'll say like 9 years ago is, I forgot when the panorama roofs started coming out on vehicles,
Right.
that everybody wanted to get that same look. Dude, I've been doing gloss black roofs for like 9 years already. Like I've done so many, and that was like what I was really known for. Like back in the day, I have I'm like exhausted to think of how many roofs I have done all these years,
Really?
especially in that era. Yeah, that was pretty much. I think Avery was the only one that had a gloss black that came 60-inch. That was like one of the first vinyls that I used to do that, because before that I was using 48-inch 3M
Yep.
and laminating it gloss or printing it whenever, back in the day it was a lot expensive to print than it is now. But yeah, I mean, the roof wraps came by the dozens, dude, by the dozens. But it was cool. It was, that's how, I got to get really detailed, because doing 4 corners of roof wraps, I'm talking about, dude, no lie, like 2 a day for like months and months,
Yeah, they can.
out of that's, it comes out. It's just natural. I do a roof wrap now by myself in 45 minutes. Well, an hour and a few minutes, I have to take the antenna off and everything. But with no antenna, 45 minutes, breeze. Taking
Yeah.
off the side trim and everything, little rain gutters.
Right. That's the thing. Like now, now we have those shark fins. You know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
shark fin's a little bit harder to remove, because you gotta take down the headliner a little bit to get to the screw or the bolt, the nut, whatever. And dude, nobody wants to get around to doing that. It's so much of a headache sometimes. Sometimes you gotta take the pillars down. But to get that nice finish.
Moldings.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course. Yeah, throughout the year, you get little tricks here and there.
Right.
To really, if worst case scenario, you can't remove the antenna, then you have your little tricks on going around that without, it stretching while you're coming in towards the antenna. You know what I mean?
What trick do you got for us? What trick do you use?
I mean, I usually I'll lay out the vinyl completely, and then I'll pre-cut the hole.
Yep.
Pop the antenna out, and just cut little by little as I'm getting bigger on the hole to it, pretty much almost that it just pops right through.
Yep.
And there's probably like, I'll say maybe a 1/4-inch lip that goes up onto the rubber, and then I'll just lay that area first and work my way out.
Right.
That way there's, I'm not working towards the antenna. Like I don't close my whole entire area and then work in. I'll just start from there and work out.
And work
So
out,
that's pretty much, yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much like, I mean, cause doing it that way, since I've done it alone for so long, it's like the best way for me to do it and the fastest way. So all I got to do is just cut on the top of the top line of the rubber, like the top of the rubber,
Right.
and then just yank the antenna around as you're tucking in that
Right.
little quarter, and
Right.
that's basically what I do there.
I haven't used it yet, but I like that little, I think it might be Yellow Tools that has it. It's that like wire that you kind of make a template with. And
Right,
then
right, yeah,
you
right,
transfer that onto the vinyl and then use that to cut the shape. I think that's
yeah,
kind of neat because you don't have to deal with the stretching and pulling. It's kind of close enough to being pre-cut where you kind of
right,
get that little lip over the rubber and then you can either knifeless it or just cut it nice around the rubber. But,
right, right,
I remember, man, I used to cut like a little, like almost like an X, a long X one way
right, yeah, exactly, yeah,
and kind of
yeah,
peel it.
taking it. That's like the first couple times you start thinking like an upholster
Yeah.
and trying to do like a little star all the way through and pop it through until you really learn and get confident enough to just start cutting holes.
How many roofs have you messed up with over that? You know what I mean? Cutting it too short or the thing just rips too
It's been a
much.
few. It's been a few. I can't, I can't say that I've done every single one flawless. Forget about it.
Yeah,
Until
right.
probably like a couple weeks ago, it happened to me. So it's something. It's something a rookie 2 years could experience. Something somebody of 20 years,
Right.
would experience. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. All you gotta do is like say, fuck. All right, let me go get more vinyl. Let
Yeah.
me redo it. Boom.
Yeah.
Just get it. Don't just sit there and say, oh, what the hell, blah, 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 blah. And then that ruins your mojo, and then you start to do it again, and it messes you up again. No, just go, just boom, just take it off, redo it. Don't even think about it,
Done
and
deal.
that's it. Yeah.
Do you get into wrapping the fins themselves as well?
Yeah. I've done quite a few.
Yeah, one piece, two
Um,
piece.
there are certain ones that I can do one piece
Yeah.
if I can take it out. But usually 95% of the antennas I do take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other five are made up like Mercedes and W's that have that double-sided freaking tape, and it's just a mission to take off. But all the rest of the cars, I really, really, really try to get that out. But yeah, if I take it out, put it on the vice grip, try to get that in one piece. I mean, I've done so many antennas that I'm just a lot more comfortable piecing it,
Yeah.
maybe two pieces.
Right.
There are some antennas that you do three piece, but just having clean seams where they're supposed to be, you don't
You won't see
from
them.
where you're standing. Not even if you bend in and look, you're not gonna see it
Right.
unless your nose is touching the damn antenna. Which at that point you need to question other things in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that's. I mean, I've oh my God, it's been ridiculous the things I've seen.
That's so funny. Yeah, you've been in the game for a while. Let's take it back a little bit where
Take it,
this
take
all
it, take it back.
yeah, let's take it back to where you kind of started. You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
So take me back to your childhood, man. What spiked this whole like rap business?
I mean, I didn't really. It didn't really hit me until probably like 2 years after I started at my first print shop.
Hmm.
I did several things before. I did a lot of things before that, and it's like I'm so I mean, I was gonna say I'm still young. I'm really not that young. I'm 35, but
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
nothing. We're around the same
yeah,
age, man.
yeah,
What are you calling
I
that,
know
old?
exactly. But no, I'm not saying it's old. I'm saying 35 is the new 32. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Oh, or the
But
30. Come on. Give
but
us a little.
I think back and was like, shit, I've done a lot of crap
Mm-hmm.
before. Like I've been doing printing and science for so long that it's like it feels like that's all I've done. But no, when I started to think about it, I was like, shit. And I worked at Boston Market. I worked at a freaking at a sportswear company that my brother got me hooked up with. Worked in hospitals. I opened up a shop with my dad. He's a mechanic. He's been a mechanic pretty much all my life. You know, I did interior design. I did demolition. I did fire caulking. I've done several things before getting into the printing and science and going back to where that sparked it. It's not after, I think it was in '03, '04, that my brother got me hooked up with printing and science shops. My brother at the time was working at a creative design place that they specialize in real estate signs.
Yeah.
Just designs for real estate signs. So
Okay.
they were the sign shop that will produce all the signs for them. So all the big names were, they were doing the signs. So he hooked me up with a job there. I started. I think I was, I don't know, I think I was like 21 or 22 at the time. I'm not sure. And I just, they did a lot of vinyl work. I'm talking about a buttload of vinyl work. I used to do like 150 core class 18 by 24 by myself in like half a day.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's weeding, prepping the transfer, putting it on, double-sided.
All cut vinyl?
All cut vinyl.
Oof.
Yeah, it was me and me and a older guy there that he's the one that really pretty much showed me, a little bit of it, how he was. He was probably there like 4 or 5 years before I got there, so he taught me what his thing.
Showed you the ropes.
He showed me the ropes pretty much, and from there I just, oh my God, we did so much stuff there. Since printing was, much more expensive in that time than doing vinyl letters, we did so many banners. We had like different colors. They had like probably like a dozen different colors. And, if it's a yellow banner, 4x8 banner, we take it out, we cut 4x8, we hem it, we grommet it, we drill it onto a big wall that was pretty slanted towards the back. And that's where we did. I had my table there. I did all the vinyl, the weeding, the transfer, put it on the banner, boom, rolled it up, put it in the ready to pick up bin and on to the next one.
Damn.
And it was routine. It was routine there for like, I'll say 4.5 years. We did a lot of online orders. They did a lot of license plates. Oh my God, there's so many license plates at the place.
Yeah.
The company is actually called Instant Signs of Miami. We still talk. We're still friends. And so it's 4 brothers, and it was an awesome experience. I learned a lot from there. We did a lot of from there. I moved up and started doing graphics for commercial bands and all that, like little quarter, partial wraparounds or 18 by 24 pieces. It's moving up in size on vinyl installation.
Right.
So it's like so going back to what sparked it 2 years into that. I don't know what made me think, like, I just out the blue, dude. I come from a kind of urban background.
Mm-hmm.
I breakdanced for 9 years.
Come on. You did?
Yeah.
I breakdanced for a little while.
No way, dude.
I swear, man. I got videos of me and my boys on
Get
some
out of here.
linoleum outside, man. Old
No way.
school. Swear to
I'm
God, man.
the B-boy of raps, bro. Steve Carney out in Orlando from Carbon Raps. He was actually he was doing it for pretty much almost the same amount of time. Probably like 10,
Damn.
11 years. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Me and my boy were talking about like old school kind of like dance music, and he brought up Bad Boy
Right.
Bill. And I'm like, dude, I haven't heard that name in like 12 years.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, I
I
haven't
mean?
heard of that name either, but if I hear, I'll for sure. Yeah, I like dancing to like Body Mechanic, the
Okay.
Mexican, what is that? I think it's called Mexican, the Jelly Bean or something like that. Like, I'm talking about like, oh my God. But, yeah, I was really into that. I grew up with, my mom passed away at an early age. I was like 9 years old. It was in 91. And it was me and my big brother. He was like 4 years older than me.
Okay.
And, I mean, I was going freaking way more back. I was a problem child. Like, from like, as long as I can remember, I was a problem child. And,
What type of trouble are you getting yourself into?
I mean, the farthest memory that I could recall is that I was in second grade. And I remember at the time I had like a little mullet haircut.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was probably acting out, but the teacher yanked on my hair, like on my back hair.
Really?
And I just turned around and slapped her so hard in the butt.
Oh, man.
I mean, I don't know what happened to me after that. I'm pretty sure I got in trouble. But that is like that's like the farthest memory that I could recall. From like
Wow.
early. And then, after my mom passed away, for me, it's pretty much the age where you kind of need your mom the most because you're
Yeah.
getting, your girls are getting, what I'm saying, kind of interesting and all that. And, it was, my dad was, pretty much working 3 jobs to maintain us. I mean, they made sure that we didn't see any type of struggle
Right.
that I'm pretty sure they were going through. You know what I mean? Because thinking about the struggles I go through for my family,
Mm-hmm.
I see that relation. It's like, that's when you really start. I was the type that my dad would tell me on a daily basis. They'll get in trouble, blah blah. And I I was always the one to just okay, brush it off and do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
But and my dad, he's a Cuban dad. They're really
Strict.
they're really not strict, but they try to care for you so much because they know better.
Mm-hmm.
They already been through it and they see you because that's what I think about now. They see you going through the same thing that you did, but when you tell them not to do it, you did it anyways. But now
Right.
you're seeing what happens. What's like the
The repercussions.
the after, yeah, exactly, the aftermath.
Yeah.
And it makes you start to think to like, damn, if I would have listened to him all this time,
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you bring that up because I actually just talked to somebody about this, how now us being older, maybe you realize it when you're like maybe mid-20s. Depends on where you are career-wise.
Yeah.
But I think when you're like 30, 31, I don't think it hit me till I was like maybe like 30 where I was like, I should have probably listened to my parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I may have been a little bit further along, but at the same time, like, I wish I would have taken a little bit more advice and not did what I, wasn't supposed to do. But we all do it.
We all do, and honestly, I mean, if you could go back and you can change things, you probably have a better life for your family and have them straight. But then other times you have days where it's like, damn, you know what? I don't regret nothing because look where I'm at. I'm happy. You know what I mean? I have freaking 2 kids. I have a 13-year-old. He just turned 13 the other day, and a 7-year-old. I have a little girl on the way due in June.
Nice. Congrats, man.
So yeah, thank you. So yeah, I mean, going back to that, I hung around a lot with my brother's friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up with them, and they were most of the ones that were really close to us were, we did graffiti.
Nice.
And I basically grew up with like the best graffitis that I think that ever come out of this side. I mean, they're known graffiti writers.
Mm-hmm.
They're, old school. They're, in the 39, mid 40s around there.
Wow.
I was, of course, into that. We had a pennant actually a few blocks away from our house. And a pennant, I don't know if you know what a pennant is?
I don't. Tell me what it is.
It's pretty much an abandoned place. In this case, it's an abandoned building that everybody goes and do graffiti, and it's known in the graffiti world as a pennant.
Okay.
But the bums go there, and a lot of people go there and do crazy stuff. But we had one a few blocks away from the house, and that's played manhunt in there. Did graffiti there for years, because that place was there for years. And I was the type of kid, since my dad would always work, my grandmother raised us, and
right.
Cuban grandmothers are like, you can get away with murder with Cuban grandmothers, especially my grandmother. Was my soul.
Yep.
And dude, wake up at 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, just disappear until sundown, until a little bit past sundown. We'll appear for water and food and all that, but
you're right back out.
We would disappear, dude, for hours and hours. And it was, that's why I always say, like, we were part of like the last best era.
I agree.
Where kids were raised that way, and they learned so much from that seeing it now, you're like, damn, luckily I was street smart, because if not, I would have been screwed. You know what I mean?
Well, I think kids our era are more street smart than the kids after
For
us.
sure.
Nobody gets out of the house no more. Those times, maybe there were people getting picked up and shit like that back in the day that we didn't hear of as much as we do now. But man, I used to hang out with like 20, 30 people, play manhunt outside till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And now person would be like, hey, that guy's being a creep over there in the car, or there was none of that around, at least where I was at. You know what I mean?
But the media wasn't really around also like we were, like it is now. So it does have a lot to do with it. It was blind to us, especially when we were kids. Because I'm pretty sure the kids nowadays, like my kids, they don't really see all that.
Right.
We do, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
So back in those days when I was doing graffiti, I don't know how I would get like pieces of vinyl from I don't know where, and I'll tag on the vinyl, and then with an X-Acto knife, I will cut out the letters.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get masking tape, put it on top of the letters. I don't know how I figured this out, but I'm pretty sure I went through a couple of sheets of vinyl doing this. I put masking tape, and like I figured a way that to transfer that to wherever I wanted.
Yeah. Like
stop signs and like walls and all that. And it wasn't like 2 years after I started working at a printing center, I was like, wait a minute.
This is how it works?
This is how it works? You could sketch it, you could scan it, you could vectorize it, you could plot it, weed it, transfer it, and there you go.
Yeah, here you are cutting it by hand.
Yeah, it was, dude, that day, I don't know, dude, I had a revelation that day. I was like, holy crap. Everything does come around full circle up in here.
For sure. That's funny you bring up the graffiti. My very first podcast, very first one, with my buddy from North Carolina at the Sign Scientist. He's originally from the Boston area. He's a very famous Boston graffiti artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his tag name was Realm.
What is it?
Realm.
Realm? Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I know about Realm.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Owner and operator, Sign Scientist. Very first podcast, man. I owe him a lot for getting that very first interview with me.
Right, yeah.
Awesome guy, man. I met him through another graffiti artist that ended up being a airbrush artist here, probably like 3 towns over from me. I used to cut all of his masks back in the day to help him do his airbrushing. nasty
sweet.
airbrush 'em, man. Nasty.
Nice.
But,
Yeah.
man, I love that the graffiti, there's so many different avenues that we all took in order to get to this type of industry, whether you're into cars, whether you were into graffiti, whether you were an illustrator. I mean, it all ties in, and it's like this big umbrella, you know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. And since I grew up with a lot of like creative people, they pretty much almost all ended up where any graffiti writer from back in the day will end up. Either a graphic designer, creative director, tattoo artist.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Those type of jobs. And it's awesome. I would never change that. I always had friends, because I always hung around my brother's friends. My other friends always been a couple of years older than me. So I would experience everything so much sooner.
Right.
I mean, my brother would wake me up when I was 13 years old at 3:00 in the morning. We're like, hey, let's go to the after hour club. We go to South Beach, and we go to the after hour club from freaking 3:30 in the morning to like 6 in the morning.
Wow.
And it was, I lived that life early. Luckily I did live that life early, that once I got around to actually being able to do so, it has already been done. So I was like, you know what I mean? I was bored of it, and, I got tied down a lot sooner. Which I thank every single day as a blessing for my wife to come in my life, because she came in at a point of time where I was like, I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed the saving, and she came in and saved me.
You in a bad place at that time?
Just hanging with a lot of, wrong people. Of course, that lifestyle, you're gonna, want to have that lifestyle always around you.
Right.
And always live it, but not focus on nothing else but that. Not focus on the future when it's already just about that time for you to focus on that future.
Yeah.
That's when she came in, and surprising enough, my wife, actually, we've known each other since we were like 9 years old. We actually grew up together in the same neighborhood.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so that's.
So you know her background, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. She moved out from the area, and it was quite a few years. I think it was probably like 24 or 25 around there. She reached out on MySpace.
Nice.
And from there on, boom,
How long you guys been together now?
10 years, married 8.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's cool.
Have you always lived?
Really good.
Have you always lived in Florida? You haven't moved out of Florida?
I've born, raised in the county of Dade. Has never moved. First time I've ever gone out of anytime I go out of the city is to go to Disney.
To go to Disney.
The parks. Yeah, that's farthest I have gone since before I went to SEMA for the first year.
Yeah.
The farthest I have gone is we missed the exit to Orlando. We ended up like in St. Augustine or something. And it was like the farthest I've ever gone to Florida until about like 3 years or maybe 4 years that I went to Vegas.
Wow.
For the SEMA.
Did you drive in for Vegas or did you fly?
No, I flew.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Yeah, we didn't. I was thinking about doing that the second time around, but I was like, nah. I just want to get there as quick as possible.
Yeah,
and get back
that's a fun
as quick
drive.
as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
And from Florida, especially. That's why, like, I've never been over. I've been wanting to go to that show ever since I was like 11 years old. Because, like I said, my dad's been around, been a mechanic all my life, and I've gone through all the phases of cars. I've had lowrider bikes. I used to build RC lowrider cars. I was into the mini trucks.
Wow.
I had all the freaking posters from Lowrider magazine and mini truck and all that all up on my wall. I was, one of those kind of guys, and then to the exotics, and then to the hot rods, to the big muscle trucks, and all the phases.
Yeah.
So, like, I've always seeing, of course, when the magazines come out, the pictures of SEMA and the show, I'm like, dude, this is like my dream come true to come to this place. Until, Arlon made it possible for me to go the first year.
Really? So what Arlon have you go and
They
wrap
did.
something?
No, they did actually, that year, I think it was like 3 years ago, I think it was. They did a contest on like repost and tag and hashtag this and win a prize,
Mm-hmm.
and that prize was SEMA.
Wow.
So they hooked us up, flew me and my wife. Me and my wife, of course, we got the tickets to go, and then everything else was just, paid for by Arlon, the hotels and expense and all that. It was the most humbling experience of my life, of my career, because there were people out there that would like notice me. It was, hey, you're in here, House of Raps. I'm like, yeah. And it was like, wait, I was like, what? Like, it was insane. It was insane for the first year for me to go and to like run into that type of, I was freaking, I was beside myself. You know what I mean? But it was awesome.
Did that help you as far as like the House of Raps brand kind of propel you a little bit, put you on the map a little bit?
I mean, for me personally, I mean, House of Raps has been around for a while. I opened it in 2010, I think it was 2009, 2010. And I started I had Facebook way before, I had MySpace. I would post pictures, which sucks because I ever since like Facebook and all that came out and all that, I lost everything from MySpace. So I had so many pictures from like the first days, years of what I've done.
Yeah.
I have so many on there that I lost, and I'm like, shit. So I had a House of Raps Facebook. I didn't have a personal Facebook. I always did all my stuff, through House of Raps. So really nobody knew who I was as a person. They've heard of House of Raps because I used to do, my brother has been, he's e-commerce and website development and SEO, master,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been doing it for like probably like almost 20 years already. So at the very beginning of that, he kind of, did his thing a little bit, and Instagram came in, opened up the Instagram account. I mean, it's like, I tell a lot of people, you could check back to the dates and track back to when I started first posting. I think Instagram was like 2011 or something like that, early 2012. And and I have been grinding since way before that. So, I always, did House of Raps with Facebook, and then it wasn't until Facebook decided to like separate companies and persons
Right.
that I know Kevin Kemp had a big issue with it too, because he was really the type where he was kind of like me, like I didn't really like for people to know that I'm House of Raps, like all the work that you see. If you're really passionate about doing, custom raps and doing raps and all that, and you've looked up and searched up like I did when I first started and started following people from way back then, if you do that, then you will run into, my work or Kevin's work and all that, but you don't really know the person behind it.
Right.
So it wasn't, I like that. I like not,
The secrecy
people,
of it.
yeah, secrets, exactly. And then Facebook did that whole separation thing that forced me to create a personal and separate the business. And that's when, that's when people, especially on the Rap Society, because I was in the Rap Society as House of Raps as well.
Right.
And then everything, that switch came up and it ended up being Hannier Dominguez. And then I get like to this day, like not too long ago, somebody, sent me like, dude, like I've been seeing your posts for I don't know how long, and I just figured out that you run House of Raps. I'm like, well, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
But you
So
know what?
it's awesome.
Yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day, some people like to have that, personal as your personal. That's where you post pictures of you,
Yeah.
your family, your
Mhm.
kids,
Mhm. Mhm.
vacations, and then you
Mhm.
got your business where it's completely separate. Um,
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Some people like to mix
Yeah.
it, which is, it's all good. You know what I mean? I used to mix a
It
little
is
bit, you know what I mean?
for sure. For
But it's
sure.
nice to have that secrecy one to just have on the background just for you and your fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 For sure. For sure. And that's that's when I started to a little bit after that. Um, like I said, I've been doing this for so long, and working in a market in one of the most saturated markets across the board.
Hmm.
Okay, is South Florida. Like I said, I told you previously, we have freaking 20 sign shops in freaking 5 mile radius. I started feeling like just another installer out here. It's just, I'm not, you know, I'm just another installer. I'm not,
Yeah,
really, acknowledged as much as I should. That type of feeling.
right.
So I was like, you know what? I've been looking into competing for a little bit, and I wanted to give it a try. So about like, I think it was like 3 years ago, or 2 years ago. No, it was 3 years ago. I did the Rap Cup, out in, Miami Beach for the signs of the science show here in Miami Beach, and Graphics of the Americas.
Yep.
Did the wrap up there because I just wanted to really, you know, try that out, really get my name out there, um, to go through different, sources of getting my name out there and all that. And I really wanted to start working trade shows. So that's when I started thinking about, certifications and all that. Because me personally, I've never been one to really think that just, a certification defies me. You know what I
Right.
mean? It serves its purpose for sure. It serves its purpose, which is getting the work from 3M, getting good corporate work, having that validation for them, and they could shoot you all around and do all that. But since I was more of a mom and pop, always been mom and pop shop kind of guy,
Hmm.
they're not, they see your profile. They know what's up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And luckily for me, I had quite an extensive profile, um, from, doing so many raps that once I went off on my own, I had it already there. And like I said, they always feel comfortable with me. Everything turns out, every once in a while you have a hiccup, but nothing that you can't just hold your breath for 10 seconds, let it go, and hiccups will go away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I've always really focused on doing that. And so I was looking into certifications because, of course, working trade shows, of course, you're going to want to get, somebody to actually take you out there. And 3M is not going to take you out there if you haven't really invested in yourself and all that. And
Right.
I actually credited or, validated, certified. So those are the only reasons why I was, looking forward, doing so. But at the same time, it's just so many things going on, especially right now with the newborn in June, and having to move out of, to a bigger spot in October, and having too many things going on this year. And probably next year I'll make it. Um, I'll try to get that done because it's something I've been really wanting to do for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm one that if I say I want to do it, I know that I always hesitate, and I take a little bit longer doing it, but at the end of the day, I will do it. So I know it's coming, but it's just a matter of when it gets done. And pretty much the only reason I'll do that is just for, just to work trade shows and all that, which I find to be pretty cool. And, talking to people, and I that's one of my, biggest things. I'm the type of person that you come to me, you ask me anything, I answer anything to my best of my ability. I like helping a lot of people. I mean, I have a bunch of people always, contact me. Hey, what do you think the best way of doing this and that? And, any new guys that come out here, I'm not going to say no names, but there's been some controversy over, over a couple names. And, there's plenty of work out here for everybody. You know what I mean? Especially in South Florida, it's just ridiculous.
It's a hot spot.
It is. It's a ridiculous hot spot. It's burning out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's difficult for you to shine because it's so many people, and I have to deal with the hack shops. I have to deal with the people, so many people, undercutting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to deal with the people that are undercutting but doing really good work, which for me ruins the industry more than just hacks. Somebody just does hacks, because there's always going to be hacks out there.
Right.
There has to be hacks out there. You know what I mean? But those people are doing actually good work, but they're just undervaluing their good work. And, giving it away for so cheap is like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's the shitty part about it. You know what I mean? But in any industry, I mean, you're gonna have that regardless. But that is a deep value. Are you seeing that more with like I don't want to say any names, but like any shops that like actually have a shop, have a location, storefront, still doing that type of stuff? Or do you see people more like mobile giving shit away?
No, it's actual places.
Yeah.
Actual storefronts. They have actual overhead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky enough to not have the type of overhead that they have.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I need to be, I'm always, like, I've always had the mentality, I'm definitely not going to be the cheapest, but I can't be the most expensive, because I have bills and all that to pay. So I'm always going to maintain myself right there in that middle mark. Right. You know what I mean? So when you hear of places and known places, with like, you give out a quote, but like, oh, this place gave me this quote. I'm like, holy crap, how the hell? You know what I mean? It's like, it sucks. It sucks. I'm really firm, especially when it comes to custom wraps. I am strict and firm with the quotes that I give out, because I know what it takes, because I'm the one that strips it apart. I wrap it, I put it back together. Yeah. I have people, really close circle of installers around me that through the years I've, managed to keep, that help me anytime I need it. I help them anytime, that they need it. So we're always helping each other. I love that one hand washes the other. Since I'm in that,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's the way
no
it should
be.
Feeling. Yeah, that's the way it should be. If you get into a jam, or you want to bid on a bigger job, you want to know that you got somebody that has your back, and you'll take care of them money-wise, you know what I mean?
Definitely. And I've always had that moral, around me. So, I mean, I don't know where really, it's like just basically, the moral that I got from all the different print shops I worked for. I grabbed a little here, grabbed a little there, got what works from here, got what works from there, and then actual, always, build it. And I've always been into custom stuff.
Yeah.
Partly before the custom wrap thing, I was doing custom prints, like the spot UV, the foil.
Right.
That's when it first started coming out there. I was pushing it. It was actually right after my first job, probably like 06, I think, is when I left. No, 5, 06, 7, 08. So like 08 is when I left. I've touching a little bit back to that. I gave my first job. Me and my brother was going to go into, open up a storefront together with my soon later to be brother-in-law. He did computers. My brother did websites and all that, and I did all the printing and signs. And we pushed a lot of custom prints, spot UV, foil, silk cards,
Yeah.
rounded corners. We used to do it with UV cards, which is they're quad. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they were around I think before 4-over blew up.
Yeah,
UV cards.
foil goes back old school though, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, old school. Yeah, it was old school. It was really expensive back in the day.
It was. It
That
was. And
that's
they'd
the
only do
that's yeah.
one color
Yeah,
per card.
only there was two colors. Silver and gold has always been the two colors that I have always seen since before. Since linen cards used to be cheaper
Mm-hmm.
than full color digital cards.
Right.
Now it's the other way around. Now you get a set of linen cards as foil, like,
Oh, so much money.
or raised letters. If you
Yep.
get the raised oh, bro, you're paying more than freaking what you get for so much more of a digitally printed business card.
Right.
So UV cards was the place we used for our silks and our thick. They were like, I think they were the first ones to offer. I think it was like 20 something point or something like that. It was 24 point. It was two 12-point cards together.
Stacked,
And
yeah.
it did, yeah. And then the colored edges, all the real custom stuff. So I was a real push on that. And, it didn't really quite work out between us, so we went our separate ways. I ended up working at a print shop, where we used to send our stuff to get printed at. I was there for pretty much, probably like 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
That's when the commercial wrap started getting traction because it started getting cheaper.
Right.
I did so much Orlon commercial wraps at that company.
Just doing installs?
It was just pure installs, dude.
Wow.
When I got there, they were wet applying wraps.
Wow.
And then sending it out to no lamination wrap, now mind you,
Ugh.
sending it out to the body shop and getting clear coat.
Come on.
Yeah. I'm dead ass.
Wow, dude. I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah, they will wet install. Take me and a buddy of mine that was there. Buddy of mine's there that wasn't an installer when I got there. Grew up with the owner and the people that worked there. And dude, we will do like a Ram 3500 van, like in 4 days. And that's just wrapping it, like wet applying it, letting it dry, and then sending it out to get clear coated.
Transfer paper?
No transfer paper.
Just right off the backer.
Right off the backer.
How miserable was that?
Yo, and in one piece.
Oh.
No vertical panels.
Damn.
Horizontal panels, dude.
Wow.
So they had a laminator there, which they had lost the instructions to. And I was like, dude, this has to stop. It got to a point where I was like, dude, this has to stop. We have I came from printing and science world, but they were more a print shop. That's how they started off with like club flyers.
Yeah.
They were heavy. They had so much work for club flyers and all that. They were like one of the biggest out here in South Florida for club flyers. They're actually called Life Colors, another company that I still stay in contact with. We're still friends. And they, I found the instructions. I read up on it. I was like, listen, get a roll lamination next time. We're going to do it. And I think the first one we did was, I think it was like a Cadillac Escalade. It was like, I think it was like an '06 or something like that. A Cadillac Escalade that we did with Arlon, with the lamination, and dude, that thing came out spectacular. Half the time it took for us to do in wet app. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was like, look, this is how it's supposed to be. Cause I had done, a few of them before getting there. So I was like, dude, there are better ways.
Right.
There are better ways. So I got that rolling. I got them to do, because they were doing a lot of club flyers and all that. So they had that client base to start selling custom prints. I was like, dude, let's get on it. Silk, Spar UV, boom. And then they kind of blew up on that. And then probably I was there like 4.5 years. I ended up leaving because it was just, uh, I'm the type of person, like if I'm working at a place, and where we get frustrated and we fight, that's how we were there. Every once in a while we get frustrated, we fight with each other. 6 o'clock, everybody goes to the conference room. We play an hour of cards, hour of dominoes, talk shit. We go play basketball after work. You know what I mean? I've always been that type to always separate things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's work is work. What's outside is, it's outside.
That's a good mentality, though.
Yeah, I've always been like that. Maybe because of the upbringing, all that, as a Hispanic, you know what I mean?
Well, less stress,
Yeah,
less nonsense you have on your conscience,
yeah,
or shit you have, it's heavy on your heart. You just
right,
let
yeah.
that shit out. Stress takes life, years off your life, man.
Of course, brother.
You can't have that shit.
No way, no way.
It's not
And
worth it.
so about like 07, 08 maybe. I think 08, left. It was just the going back and forth was just too much. I was like, you know what? Let me just go. I'm gonna go my own way. And I opened up. I didn't really open up, but I opened up the website called Rap Stars. Because that's at the time where custom raps was like came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know I was doing custom raps until later on. I was like, oh shit, it's a custom rap. I did like I remember one of my first one was like in the first company I did. I did a Beetle and I did the flares like in a calendared vinyl.
How miserable
And then
was that?
and yeah, it was a learning curve. I'll tell you that, but I got it done.
All four?
All four.
Wow.
All four. And then after that, the other one I did, I think I did like an E-class for Mercedes-Benz company. It was in the Life Colors job. They had a black and white sale. So I was a black car and I did the whole passenger side in white, and I just used like regular Avery 1105 EZRS vinyl, no lamb. I did it with that, and then hand cut the whole thing, and thing came out freaking beautiful.
You did like a tuxedo, half black, half
a little
white.
A little tuxedo, and then in the hood it said black and white sale.
Nice.
And with the colors inverted. It was pretty cool. It was a cool project. And then there was a company out here that I think for me was like really one of the first ones to just cater to custom raps, and they were called Kings of Raps.
Okay.
They probably lasted like a couple years. But they were known for printing all types of colors. We would laminate with matte lam, with satin. We'll mix laminations together to get other finishes. And that's what we're pretty much, the friend of mine that I was working at the place with, there was a good friend of his too, and he started working there, and that's when the custom rap started. And then it's just, the matte blacks. I remember the first matte black I did, it was like a 3M 48-inch row that the crosshairs in the back were so like heavy that when you apply it, you can actually see the air channels through the vinyl.
Right.
So that's the only thing we had.
That was the CV1, wasn't it?
That was a CV. It was part of the CV1 adhesive.
Yeah.
That's probably what they used with that backing.
Right.
But dude, it was the vinyl was really thin too, so that's what really made those air channels like pop out of there. You can see like a ghost image of those crosshairs. But it's the only thing we had that came already matte black. And then we started doing the Avery gloss when it started coming 60 inches, and just started laminating that. And that's where, matte black is pretty much the first color that people started doing, custom wraps, I think.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So yeah, from there, I came up with Rap Stars. We dedicated and specialized in custom raps, only custom raps, and I will go only after custom raps. It was pretty much like '08, '09. Started going to, I started going to dealers. We did commercial raps as well, but my main thing was, custom raps. So we hit up I'll hit up Home Depots myself and just put flyers on every single commercial truck and van there. I'll sit and I'll be in the intersection passing out flyers. I'll go to dealers. I work up incentives with the sales guys. I knew buddies that worked at dealers, hooked up with them. I started putting up roll up banners and little displays at their place, to really get the clients in. And I just started working a bunch of dealers, and that's what really got me so much business. But on the wholesale side, because of course you're working with dealers, you're going to be giving out wholesale prices, of course.
Right.
And especially at that time, starting off, you don't really, there's no market for it because it's new. I was lucky enough to grow with it and learn with it. So we had to come up with price points and, for certain things. And, that really helped me with that pricing out, doing so much work for the dealers. And then it got to too many dealers. There was too many issues and payment issues, and a lot of dealers going bankrupt and failed promises and this and that I just start cutting them down like I always do. I cut them down, keep only those that have been, have a good, track record,
Right.
consistent, throughout, and just kept that. And then from there, I just, I met, a real old client of mine that really got me into the exotics. He would buy and sell exotics. I think it was like the ending of '09. He was, buying and selling exotics, and that's when I started, doing a lot of work for him. We'll do probably like 3 cars a week,
Just
2 or 3 cars to just pure wrapping and just solid. For the most part, it was matte black. I've done so many matte black wraps. It is exhausting. Like when satin black came out, I said no I pushed everybody to satin black.
Yep.
When matte deep black came out, I pushed everybody to matte deep black.
That's
and
awesome.
Now we got and then we have the new dead matte, which is for me,
yeah,
the most truest form of matte black.
Yep. I agree.
It reminds me of the Hexas Ultra Matte Black that I did several years ago. It was like a chalkboard. I loved it. That's matte black. So, it was, and you would think, Miami Beach, South Beach, people with freaking lime green and cherry. No, it's just matte black, matte
Everybody
white,
wants that
matte
stealth
gray.
look, man.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. You know what I'm saying? That was it. The stealth. Exactly. You hit it right on top of the head. Everybody wanted that stealth look. Nobody wanted to pop out.
Yeah.
So it was just, it was just a grayscale. It was just pure grayscale.
Hey, you know what? It's easy money because you can buy the larger rolls, save yourself a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And if you ever bought more matte black, it would be gone by the end of the week.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. With little things here and there, hoods, roofs, trunks and all that, it really came in handy.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's, from there, I opened up House of Raps in 2010. Actually got that name from House of Color.
Okay.
Pretty much because, I was, when I was with my dad, working, my dad is really old school. He didn't want to take that business the route that I wanted to take, which was custom installs and, HIDs, because that's when, that's when the cars started coming out with HIDs and people started, appearing to the shop and like, hey, can you install these on this car? I'm like, yeah, I'll try. You know what I mean?
Right.
However it is, they get the hold of these factory HIDs because it was just only a dealer thing.
Right.
So they'll bring me these lights, and I was installing these HIDs. I installed so many HIDs there, and my dad's always been, very neutral with it. He's always been like, okay, I'm a mechanic, and that's all I'm gonna be is just a mechanic. I'm satisfied where I'm at. I'm comfortable. I'm not gonna try new stuff. I'm just gonna stay where I'm at because it's my safe spot.
Right.
So he really didn't want to try to do the things that I wanted to do. So I guess in a way that really like not caused tension, because that's one thing about me with a mechanic. I get so frustrated in the shop, and I have a nut that doesn't come off, and all you hear in the shop is "fuck,
Yeah.
god damn it," and I throw the wrench, and that shit goes bling 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 bling, and then my dad is like pure snap on, dude.
Yeah.
My dad, if it's not snap on, he ain't having it in his toolbox. He's like really, really anal with everything snap on and all the new tech.
Wow.
So I'm throwing freaking snap on fucking the tools on the sun. Like, why are you throwing my gun? I'm like, ah. And it got to a point. So I started working a block down. There's a guy that I met, and he had a motorcycle body shop. And I'll be around, hang out, drink there and just chill. And that was like before I got I'm taking it now back to the first conversation. 'Cause that's actually where I learned how to pinstripe.
Really?
We did, yeah, he did. He had a contract with OCC. There were OCC had like contracts with a whole bunch of body shops throughout the United States, I guess, that'll paint their choppers, or they're like generalized choppers for the public.
Right.
That they sold a bunch of.
Right.
It was just it was either racing stripes or flames. So he was, he gave me a roll of nylon tape, and he showed me how to do the masking, how to duplicate it to the other side. I got extremely good at it, and I just started doing that for him, just laying out flames and pinstripes,
Wow.
and then that's one of the other things I carried from back then to now, using knifeless and having to do, stripes the old school way. Having my hand, my hand is freaking, like, a lot of people tell me, especially in stars, like, dude, how in the hell, why aren't you a plastic surgeon, bro? Your hand is so still, and I've always had that steady hand, because I've always been creative and, doing the RC cars. So, I was really heavy doing the lowrider cars. I'll do the engine, I'll get yarn and do the spark plug wires in different colors and paint it. I'm OCD with pretty much everything I do.
Oh man, we all are a little OCD in the rap industry, bro.
Yeah, for sure. My wife is like, dude, when you start to do something, there's like no stopping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it was like that, and that carried on, to do. That's how I got so good with the knifeless. And once the knifeless came out, I was like, oh my god, this is what? Oh my god, what is this?
Game changer.
It was a game changer for me. It was the biggest game changer for me. As far as tools go,
right,
for the industry, you know what I mean? It was a game changer. That has been the biggest game changer, I think, in tools.
Right. I agree. I mean, the way you can not use a blade on a whole wrap install, the worries of, did I cut too much? Did I not cut enough? Right. I mean, you knifeless the whole car and go to town and make sure you remember what overlaps what. You know what I mean?
For sure. I don't get too into using the knifeless like that. Luckily, because I do have a steady hand, just a little bit of tape in areas where I think I might have problems in, I put it on. But aside that, dude, everything is just freehand cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Old
Unless
school.
if it's there, why not use it? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I think about it.
Well, it's, the amount of time it takes you to lay it down.
Yeah,
You save
yeah,
yourself a few, but you
yeah,
time
for sure,
times that throughout
for
the
sure.
day, you
Yeah,
can cut off an hour.
exactly. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And especially, those times where I was doing a lot of wholesale, work, you have to turn around a project, that much quicker so
Right.
you could, get a good profit. And, also being, running my own thing and being by myself. And at that time, I was more of a travel installer. I really didn't have no thing. That's when I first started, when I was, doing the rap stars. And then, I found out there was actually a rap stars in, downtown Miami, but they did wallpaper. So I was like, damn it. So that's when I ended up thinking about the House of Raps, opened that up and just went cranking and did a lot of installs for sign shops, of course, the commercial, but my main thing was the custom. Um, and a lot of from the beginning, nobody was really taking stuff apart.
Right.
Taking stuff apart didn't, start getting, a few years into it. That's when people that started from back then started getting a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
They're like, hey, you know what? I mean, this is, let's get somebody to strip it down, mechanic strip it down. And then that's when the costs start going up. And that's how, like I said, you learn while it's growing with you. And it was just another learning curve.
Well, it was all cut and tuck at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was all cut and tuck. And, of course, people, dealers didn't want to friggin' take apart an exotic. And I was like, no. Nowadays they're like, oh, you take the stuff apart, right? I'm like, do you have somebody to take that apart?
Yeah.
Because, if you want me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only do so much. I mean, at the end of the day, we're almost becoming more of an auto body person, you know what I mean? With removing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yep.
So even with you, I mean, I got a buddy that's an auto body guy. Like, if I ever needed anything, I'm not dealing with it. I'd rather give him $300 or $400, take it off, and I'll call you to come back and put it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely where it came out to end up being. I freed up more of my time, so I could so I could arrange the next project that we have going on, and then that's when I started getting help. Because if you ask any one of the guys that help me out, my phone is constantly ringing, dude. I've had the same phone number for 14 years. You know what I mean? So it's constantly ringing, and I'm constantly always scheduling. Like, I always have to have that next step already lined up, ready to go.
Right.
As soon as we're done here, that's when I start getting a little bit more, I give out a little bit more trust to the installers. I pick and choose, and I have somebody to do my commercial. I have somebody to do my custom because I know the details are better than the guy that does a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
So I play around with them, like that, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome. It's freed up my time, and especially I was doing designing as well because I was I was a designer. That's what I went to school for, or at least for like a few weeks.
Few weeks. Let's talk about that for a little bit.
I went, well, like I said, I was not so much of a swell kid. In middle school, I got kicked out, for not going to school. Like, it was like 380 days of the school year, and I only went to like 180 of them.
Wow.
Cause every day was like National Skipping Day for us. It was like ridiculous. So I got kicked out and went to opportunity school.
Okay.
And it was a predominantly black, place. It was Opelika, Florida. And I was just another Chico there at the school. You know what I mean? And dude, I got in good with, because the way I am, I got in good with so many of the, predominantly black guys that were going to that school, and with the teachers.
Yeah.
That, dude, I could have gone away with murder in that school. I was there for 3 years, not doing nothing, and getting straight A's.
Wow.
Okay. I formed a bond with a graphic arts teacher there. And that's when I started. That's where I actually, come to think about not having a realization. That was another realization I had. We did business cards from like scratch with raised letters in that room. We did a lot of cool old school print stuff with like AB Dix and all that stuff. And I guess that's where that's another part of my life, that all this came from. So, from there, since I was there for 3 years, I was just eating crap for 3 years, getting straight A's. We moved, my family moved, down south, a little bit more down south. Went to an opportunity school over there. And the way opportunity school works, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but you get there and you get to do 9 weeks at the opportunity school.
Yeah.
Once the 9 weeks are up, if you've been good, you go out to the regular school. So my 9 weeks were up. I was good. The last day of the 9 weeks, I was going to go to the regular school. I get caught smoking a cigarette at school. I had to do another 9 weeks in there. Finally, made it out to regular school. I was 16. I was like turning 17 years old in middle school.
Wow.
Okay. When I got to high school, I managed to get to 10th grade. Principal called me in and listen. I was 18 years old. And I listen. You can stay by all means, but at the same time, you're not doing so good. So what do you want to do? And I was like, you know what? Boom, I'm out. That's when I went after the GED.
Yeah.
And then that's when, going back to the commercial art, I went to a vocational technical institute for commercial art. Now, I had been already dabbling since my brother's been doing websites and all that stuff for freaking years. I've had Photoshop around me, more than half, pretty much half of my life. And I had Flash around me ever since it came out. Now, Flash was yeah, you've heard of it. Flash is the animation program.
Yeah.
So the first project I did for commercial art, I had already, dabbled in it. I did, it was like probably like a 30-second thing that I did with text in Flash that I blew the teachers' minds. I had the Flash Bible, which from there, that goes back to the friends that I grew up with, my brother's age. They were into that and the whole programming and the Flash, and that's when action scripting started going down.
Right.
And I would action script in Flash, and the teacher was like, what? Oh my God. And then it wasn't until the second project that was pretty much the same thing that I was like, what the hell? I'm like teaching everybody here. What am I doing here? Let me get out, let me try to get into this. And that's when I got a couple of jobs in between to try to get there, and finally, got to that first printing job. But
man, I was building websites with Flash back in the day in high school, man.
Right? Yeah, dude. It was awesome. I let go. It got a little bit too complicated for me with action scripting, so I just fell back more onto Photoshop.
Yeah.
I started doing designs, and then going to what we were talking about earlier. I would work 12 hours a day. I would work 12-hour shifts and then get home and design. You know what I'm saying? So a few years ago, I was like, you know what? I can't no more. That's when I started outsourcing the designs, and that freed up, more. And that was able for me to do more stuff and get more clients. So after doing that for a few years, cousin of mine's, he told me, hey, listen, let's do something. And I was like, all right, let's do it. He put up the money. It was it was the first time of me partnering with somebody.
Right.
He put up the money. It's like pretty much when my second child was born. He put up the biggest mistake that we made is that he we bought out a print shop in West Palm Beach.
Okay.
We bought everything out cash, everything. We got a Roland 64-inch 12 cartridge printer. We got the plotter, we had the bad wraps, we had hard drives, we had vinyl for days. We had everything.
Did you get the clients?
Didn't get the clients because it's West Palm for me is like 2 hours, like an hour and a half away.
Okay.
So, where he was at was a little bit more north of West Palm, so it was a little bit an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was for what I had already a client list already myself.
Okay.
Before this, I had a shit ton of work at the time. I had like 2 18-wheelers with the trucks with race cars because it was a racing team that they ran out race cars, E30s,
Okay.
at the Homestead Speedway. So we had a lot of work, and I ended up learning that, if we would have just leased everything out, have money there for the, for the monthly expenses, rent and all that, I would have been today where I thought I was going to be. But since my cousin came up with, so much off the bat, like 3 months in, he's like, yo, where's the money? Where's the money? I'm like, dude, I mean, it's been 3 months. I mean, he's a business owner. He knows that the first year or two, you know what I'm saying? You're claiming zeros.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Until you get, you know how it works. But later on, I felt it was everything he had. It was what he had saved up. So I felt how the tightness that he had. The other mistake was that we bought used, and the printer was running beautiful. Everything was good, but the second print started, with something. We had to replace a head.
Ugh.
That was,
$1,500.
Yeah, it was like, so I think it was like $750 for the head. It was an aftermarket head. It was an original head. It was like $750 for the head, and then the
install.
The install was, I don't know, that was $400 or $500.
Yeah.
So that happened 3 times.
Oof.
It was first the head, second the motherboard, and then another head.
I would have scrapped it after the motherboard.
So, dude, I was, my wife was working. I wasn't bringing home nothing. I was doing carbon fiber wraps, like hood wraps and roof wraps, just to bring in home something to pay the TV, the light, or something to help my wife out. I wasn't making nothing because everything was going back into the business.
Right.
I was actually, I was bringing the business and purchasing other vinyls that I'm going to need. I know I'm going to need banners. The location was beyond beautiful. We were in the parking lot of a big Hispanic TV station. So I had already the hopes of just fixing the place up. 6 months into it, going over there, hey, we're in your backyard, whatever you need, because I know they did props and all that. I used to work in places they do props from, and they do a lot of work, and plus their vehicles, of course.
Right.
But it was just 3 months into it. That was just one after the other. That trailer job that we did, I printed the whole trailer. The colors were wrong.
Oh.
It was just one after the other. And then, my cousin came at me like the second, third time. So I know the wife was really pressing him. And she was like, yo, where is it at? And I was writing everything down. The math did not lie. I wrote everything on top of everything that I was doing, bringing in the clients, designing, running the machines, printing it, laminating it, cutting it, installing it, turning it in. Business cards had to pick up, drop off. He also wanted me to be, oh, this invoice is for this job and this. And I'm like, dude, bro, hire get somebody, get your wife, get somebody, pay her $7 an hour and let her do that. Cause that's one thing that I'm not good at.
Mm-hmm.
I keep receipts and all that, but beyond, I pass them over there. And I was writing everything down and everything added up. So he came at me one last time with it, and I was like, bro, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't. the relationship between me and my wife was getting affected, and it was, I just couldn't be separated, be closed down, and it is what it is. I kept on doing my thing. I built back up, started calling everybody else. I built it back up, and I got the reputation. I never had the reputation damaged, but
that's tough working with family, though. At the end of the day, too.
It is.
If there's any type of piece of advice I could give anybody listening to the podcast, partners are only good for dancing. And I know you probably hear that from a lot of other people, but it's 100% true. Especially if you're trying to get in partners with family members. It's very, very tough. Very, very, the dynamic's different. A lot of people don't know how to separate family and then business.
At all.
You bring a lot of it home. It's stress all over the place that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it didn't really, I still see him, it's every once in a blue, and there's no like animosity between us, but it was just, lesson learned.
But you know what? That's crazy. He was only the money man, right? He didn't help out with anything else?
Yeah, he would come in and try to do like the invoice stuff, but he wasn't really, he wasn't really used to none of that, you know what I mean? He thought that I was able to manage the whole nine, and he saw all the work that I had coming in and all the work that I was doing, but he wasn't saying the money.
Right.
But I mean, at the same time, he was there every single time the guy with the tech was there for the thing. He was there when I had to reprint, the whole trailer.
Right.
I mean, he saw everything that went on. He would pass by every day. And that's one thing I was like, I didn't understand. It's like, you don't see everything has going,
There's a process.
Yeah, it is. The biggest issue there was that we didn't really buy, we didn't lease, which was probably the best way anybody could do it. And, after that, it's been a couple times that I've tried to really build, the house of wraps more, but just every single time it's always a downfall, and you send installers out to do your installs, and they're giving out their business cards. I'm like, come on.
That's the worst.
I know you mean well, but it's just, if there's a problem, have them call me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then after that last time, that I was like, that's it. I'm just gonna get back up to like a steady routine to where I was, and that's it. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on until something happens, which lately things have been happening. Then like in the middle of another big step, and like because of past things that has happened, it's taking me longer to really decide on what to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's it comes to a matter of, like, I've been doing it for so long, I've been hustling for so long, I've been going out chasing it for so long that I miss just like working at a place and getting steady paycheck. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it gets to that point. You know what I'm saying? And it's so saturated out here like that it'll get you, it'll break you down to that point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I've been trying to hold my best, and my wife is like my biggest supporter. If it wasn't because of her, I wouldn't even have House of Raps. I wouldn't have gone on my own. She held it down when, you know what I'm saying? And then I've been holding it down for like the past, 4 or 5 years. She's been a stay-at-home mom.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Good for you.
And, you know what I'm saying? So it all comes down to the type of person I am, and how I treat people, and how I'm always, changing my character in order to make you feel comfortable. You know what I mean? If I'm talking to a straight up redneck, I get my redneck on, and I start talking to you real strong with that accent. And then if you see me, I look I look Irish, I look Russian or something. For no shape, way, or form do you think I'm Hispanic. Unless you recognize the salazaro that I have around my neck, you would not know. So I start speaking the Spanish, and they think I'm an alien, because since my parents came in '82 in the '80s in the Mariel, on one of my cousin's speedboat, and my whole life I've always been around Spanish, so I'm like that rare breed that doesn't exist anymore that could read, write, speak, understand. The most important is read and write, because that's really rare.
Right.
To read and write Spanish. Today's generation of Cuban descendants, like my little brother, horrible with the Spanish. Horrible.
Really?
They speak it, but like to read it and to write it, forget about it.
Is it like broken Spanish? It's not like the true.
It's in my little brother's case, it's better than a lot that I've seen around.
Uh-huh.
I see, or these kids. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, what'd you say?
They break that shit up. It's like, what?
That's so funny.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy. That's how I adapt myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm talking to somebody from the hood, because my dad has always worked in the hood, and I get down to the hood talk.
That's
you know
it.
What I mean? And that's how I throw the M-bomb. I'm born and raised. You born and raised in Dade County. You throw the M-bomb left and right. Left and right. It doesn't matter if you're in front of whoever it is. You know
it's
what I'm saying?
All good.
It's when you get down to that street, because that's where the streets, that's where I learned from it, and that's how I make you feel comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's been my A1 sauce, if you will.
That's so funny. Yeah, you got that big beard. You're growing it strong, man.
Yeah, I have it there. I mean, I get it. I get it a little bit too crazy. I let it really, I went, I think the biggest I had it was the second year I went to SEMA. I had that thing huge, because my wife, the first time she came with me the first time, she was like, I'm not going with you with that beard. You better cut half of it off. And she's really into beards, so, but you gotta cut half, because it's ridiculous. And then I have the next year, I just, the wife couldn't go with me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut it. I think I cut it February. I was like, I'm not going to cut it until I go to SEMA. And I did it.
Wow.
I trimmed it, I think, once. And dude, there's like pictures. I go through my Facebook picture at the Pain is Dead, rap party. My beard, dude, super freaking long. You know what I mean? So it's when I grow it out, it's like I look a little bit more intimidating than I really am, because I have a baby face. If I shave it off, I look like a freaking baby, dude.
Well, you get down to those late 20s.
Yeah,
you know
dude,
what I mean?
Just crazy. And I've always had my beard, not so long, but I've always had my beard. I think since I was 18.
Wow.
I've had the same exact beard. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't grow it out as much, but I have it really, really thin.
Yeah.
Like it was, back in days when it was in and all that. And the Abraham. Since 18 years old, I've had the same thing.
That's so funny.
It's even weirder when I do cut it off, which I've had twice completely off.
Yep.
That I did it right after I came home from SEMA. The last year I went 2 years ago, and the very next day shaved it completely off.
That's
freaked
so
out
funny. I've been growing mine for quite a while. Mine grows like crazy, man. I'll go get a haircut, and then they'll trim it, dude. Next thing you know, the thing's ridiculous. I used to shave my face all the time. I was a constable a few years back, so we'd have to wear uniforms and be clean shaven and shit like that, and just the baby face look. Just I didn't like it, man.
No.
People don't take you serious.
No, for sure. Of course not. For sure. And you have that feeling on you. I'm like, why are you looking at me weird?
Yeah.
But little do you know, they don't understand. They're seeing you for the first time like that. So maybe for them, it's not weird, but then
Right.
you feel weird and then you start acting weird and it just gets all weirded out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, my beard grows super, super fast.
Ugh.
Super duper fast.
You know what I hate the most is when you get carded, when you go out to dinner or something, you get carded. You're like, damn, yo, I'm 35. Come on. Like, seriously? Like, you don't see the grays in my beard, bro? Like, I
know,
can
right?
pass for 21. Like, stop.
Yeah, like, dude, you don't see the wrinkles on the forehead? I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Count the wrinkles. Count the wrinkles, please. It's whatever. Speaking of that, I haven't gotten carded in quite a long time.
Oh man, I got carded the other day. That's when I got pissed.
Really?
I'm like, dude, I'm at my bushiest and my grays are in full bloom, bro. Like, how are you gonna card me like that? Like, seriously? That's why I brought it up, man. I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, it's whatever. Every once in a while it happens, and you either feel damn, what's that word I'm looking for? Like shocked, like happy, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I feel so. But then at the same time, it was like, I'm freaking 35.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So it's like it can go both ways depending.
You appreciate it. You're like, oh, thanks. Thanks for telling me.
If you're feeling good, if you're feeling good about yourself that day, you got a fresh cut,
right?
You're clean shaved, and you get car, you're like, yeah, there it is, right there, babe. There it is,
for sure.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I am 35.
Yeah. Thank you. I usually say thank you when you give them the license.
Right?
Thank you.
You say that, you're like, you're not that old.
Yeah, right. And they're like 20. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Running around the hood longer than you've been alive.
For sure.
That's so funny.
So yeah, I mean, I've been, going back to where I'm at now, extremely humbled and freaking owe everything to the guy I share the space with there. I mean, they're pretty much like family to me.
Yeah.
They take care of me. I take care of them. But it's I've been wanting to get back. There's another thing I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to get back into the automotive restyling of it. I was actually going to post something the starting of this year, because at times, doing it for so long and, busting your balls to get your name out there and all that. You sometimes, every once in a while, you have a day where shit, you don't really get recognized the way you should get recognized because, damn, you have been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're like, you know what? I was going to post a thing this year. I was like, it's been 3 years since I've been going after custom wraps. This is the year that I'm starting to go after them. Watch out because you thought that you saw as much back in the day, you're going to see how much is going to get done now. But I hold back on it and I didn't really post it, but like behind closed doors, I really started going and you could like, if you have been following me for a while, a few people have mentioned it to me, you could see that flow of the custom wraps and the commercials and you can see the on and offs.
Right.
So you see what I'm doing throughout. You see that flow throughout the year. So you have that flow being upgraded a little bit more this year.
Right.
As far as the custom wraps and all that, and the new companies I started working with to try to get more involved into the overall customization of a car.
Yeah, well, you let the work speak for itself. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's better to do it that way than kind of come out, not to say like cocky, you know what I mean? Or like, hey, watch out type of thing.
Right. That's one thing about me, dude. I am, like I said, I surround myself with humbleness. I am extremely humble. I'm not the type of person that I'm like, yeah, I'm the ish. I'm this and that. Like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
That's why I never liked when that whole Facebook thing happened because I didn't want nobody to know.
Right.
But but there are days that you wake up and like, bro, you know what? I mean, come on.
I'm gonna kill it today.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and you kill it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't have the client base that does the crazy shit that people out there are doing.
Like
You
what?
know,
Like body mods or like?
no, like as far as raps
Yeah.
goes, because
Okay.
the body mods out here, you know, we do it. You know, we have the wide bodies and all that.
Yeah.
But as far as raps goes, like I don't. You know, and that's what I've been trying to get back on to try to go after that, because now I see that people are getting crazy with the raps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please let me get crazy with your raps.
Yeah. Have something go viral or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I designed something freaking years ago that I was going to do on a Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Confederate flag,
Oof.
like toward the front, and it's ripping and tearing into pieces. And then the back was all like the little mechanisms that make a clock work.
Okay.
Those all the little gears and all that.
Yeah.
I designed a wrap like that, dude. I think it was like 7 years ago. And the client was, that's what the client wanted. And then at the end of the day, it was like, I was going to do mess over. I'm like, oh, are you serious?
Way to go
Please.
from one extreme to another, buddy.
Right? I'm like, I'll do it for free. Not really, but I'll do it for free. I mean, please. And we ended up doing the mess over. I'm like, crap. And I started pitching that design to all the people I know had a Bentley in their showroom. Like, listen, this car would look sick in your showroom. Please let me do it. I'll do it at cost. Let me just do it. And no, and now is, probably like, I'll say, I don't know, like 2 years, I think it's been already people are getting creative with the wraps.
Yeah.
It's, the printed chrome and the people printing on lamb, like, Nick from Australia, from Exotic. You have Kevin doing freaking sick, color combinations and the high metallic, dude. It's like, I'm like, dude, let me get some of that, man.
Now with Kevin having the printer in house, man, forget about it.
Oh my God, those boats that he just slanged down.
I know, dude.
Oh my God,
all
dude,
week full of boats,
that shit.
Dude, insane.
Dude, sick shit.
He's killing it right now, dude.
He is, dude. He is. Casey, also, they're doing some sick ass shit, and it's a bunch of people out there doing like sick. You got the Skepper with the rust and all the crazy stuff, and I'm like, yes, I'm like, come in, let me do something out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was, probably because I stopped going after 3 years ago that I didn't get to where, to where I'm at now. You know what I mean? But whatever. I'm happy.
That's all that matters, bro. You know what I mean?
I'm happy.
Sometimes it's not worth that extra money. Cause to me, honestly, like, for me, the way I look at things now, it's right. Like money doesn't really buy me much happiness, to be honest with you.
It doesn't.
Time.
It doesn't.
Time is worth way more money than I could make in a 12-hour work day. You know what I mean?
For sure. That's the other thing with me. I don't live. Like I don't. I mean,
you don't live to work, but
I don't live to work, but I'm comfortable enough because I know if I go to more and I get more and it's all this, that time I spend with my kids is gonna minimize.
Right.
I'm at a level where I work long enough hours, but not long enough that I don't have time for my kids. I don't work weekends.
Good.
I only work Saturdays only if it's a roof wrap or two.
Yeah.
Or it's a van. If it's something I'm doing for Friday that I know for sure I'm finishing early Saturday.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Don't work past 2, 3 o'clock, 4, 5. Every once in a blue you get, whatever. That happens. But for the most part, dude, I'm taking my kids to skate parks. I mean, that's one thing I used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to skate. I skateboarded for like 4 years.
There you go.
I BMX also and all that. So I did half pipes and all that. me and Dan now always go back and forth. I know he's a skateboarder too.
Yep.
I was a street scout. I was raised in the streets. So every freaking hobby you would think
You were
I
into.
will be into. You know what I'm saying? That's product of being raised in the streets. You're extremely active. You know what I'm saying? You're always constantly moving and doing stuff and trying new things and playing new sports. I've been playing 3-on-3 tournament basketball since I was like 16 years old.
Wow.
To this day, I think it's been like 6 years already that I started getting back into basketball because I started feeling like a little tiring in my body. I break that for 9 years, so every morning, I have to wake up, crack my knees, make me feel good, and every time when you work with me, you think you're working with an old man. Because all the noises that I make going down and getting back up on the floor,
right?
You're like, dude, you're freaking 80 years old? What the hell's wrong with you? Right. What are those noises? And I play basketball at least 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? So I
keep everything loose.
It keep everything loose, but it also releases like my it's a stress reliever for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Especially like street basketball. That's it's such a stress reliever for me, and I like doing that. My wife gives me crap about it because I do it. Because going back to that thing, that's once I pick something up, for me to let it go is just freaking impossible.
Right.
Like it's just like my dad. My dad's freaking 60 years old. He's spearfishing. He
really?
picked up on spearfishing. He's been spearfishing since he was like 17 years old, since Cuba.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He had stopped for a long period of time. He was smoking a lot of cigarettes and coffee, and he got to a point where probably like 5-6 years ago, I think, he had to go to the hospital and get his veins unclogged because we're like 95% clogged.
Wow.
So from that, the very next day, he stopped smoking cigarettes. He started getting fit. He started spearfishing again. And he's freaking 65 years old, spearfishing. I posted up on my Instagram. He's on there.
Good for him, man. I got to check that out.
Yeah, for sure, brother.
Wow.
And that's, and once he's just, I'm just like him. He picks something up. He does not let go.
Yep.
And that's how I am. So it's a good stress reliever for me. So when I get home, I'm just, calm and chill. And, like I said, my wife gives me a little crap because I come in a little too late, every once in a while, because the games are pretty good.
Yeah.
I get, I get good games in, and I keep playing and playing and playing because we keep winning as a team. You know what I mean? So yeah, I try to keep fit into that.
That's awesome. You play with the same guys every week, same team? Or you guys switch it?
No, it's the same parks. It all depends on where I end up my day. I usually go to the park a couple of blocks away from the shop I have in Hialeah, and then there's a couple of parks out by where I live. But yeah, it's pretty much the same people. It's like, not to sound cocky, but as soon as I get there, we're like, oh, we got beard. We got beard. We got Chico.
That's awesome.
And it's cool, dude. It's awesome. It's the biggest stress reliever for me, and then the weekends with the kids. We try to do Denny's every Saturday as a routine for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sundays I take them out to, skate park or to one of those, Sky Zone, trampoline park, and whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person that I try to, just like my dad did to me, try to not to show them hard times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's, I guess that, my dad, when I was little, he would freaking punish me, and he, hit me up with a bell, whatever, like that. A few hours later, he comes in, hey, you want to go to the movie theater?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's thinking about it as, when you get older, you're like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. You know what I mean?
I mean
there's,
that goes back to immigrant life, man. I used to run through that too. My parents are from Portugal, so they immigrated here. You know, I was born here, but they immigrated here, and those were the times that, you know, we kind of dealt with. You know what I mean? Hard, you know, tough love a little bit.
A lot of closeness.
Yeah.
A whole lot of closeness and tough love, for sure. Tough love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's cool. You know, it's gotten me to where I am. You know, happy. You know, happily married, kids. They're, you know, are pain in the ass, but they're freaking phenomenal. I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I have, you know, a baby girl now doing June, so it's like a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, but you're starting over? Jesus Christ!" But you know, it was you know, something that I like. It's funny because like I've always told myself that I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have my first kid. You know, I'm gonna get married when I'm 24, 25, have my first kids. You know, 26, 27. And that way, you know, when they're this age, I can still do stuff with them." And like, little did I know, it kind of it went exactly like that.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah, it went exactly like that. You know, my wife came into my life. She had a son, which is, you know, he's my stepson, but he's been with me since a year and a half. He's mine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm the only thing that he knows as a father. You know what I'm saying? So he's mine. You know what I mean? And then I have my little one that came, you know, straight from down under. You know what I mean? So it's you know, I fell in love with my oldest son. You know, it took me a little bit to grasp. I know my wife is probably gonna hear and probably cry, but it took a little bit to grasp. You know, went through some trouble in the beginning, but finally understood, you know, what this meant.
Right.
And what it would do. And I was like, yeah, bro, like, I missed him. You know what I'm saying? And I managed to, you know, stop hanging out with the people I was hanging with, and, you know, and just started, boom, doing that thing. And, you know, little did I know how.
Sometimes, you know, you don't have to be someone's blood in order to be someone's
for sure
father. You know what I mean?
Sometimes the strongest bond is not blood related.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
The most strongest bond. You know what I mean? And he's extremely special to me. You know, he has apraxia, which is borderline autism, but it's not all mental. It's just strictly verbal. You know, he's smart as hell, dude. I tell him, here, look, go here, do this, do that. I give him instructions. He does it it's just non-verbal.
Wow.
It's not really much awareness for it. Nobody knows, you know, I know the scientific reason behind it, but there's no really, you know, it's just, you know, you read about it and everything. It's like, oh, it's just from one day to the next, boom, he'll start talking, or, you know, you see what happens, because there's thousands and thousands going through the same, trying to find a resolution for it. But I mean, maybe that's the bond that I have. Maybe, you know, I saw him and I knew he needed, you know, somebody like me in his life, and that's what really made me step up to the plate and just knock it out of the park. You know what I mean? And
Good
that's
for
like,
you.
As a man, you know, that's, I think, the biggest obstacle that you could, you know, to raise somebody else's kid is like, you know what I mean? And it's across the board. I know that stepdads understand that, you know, and that's like real big.
Yeah.
So it's you know, it's awesome, you know. And then my little one is mini me, and he's doing great, and, you know, at school, which makes me proud. And, you know, everything is lovely, you know. My little girl, so it's gonna be, you know, I'm hoping my little girl puts order and peace between my two.
Oh, you'd be surprised,
you know I mean?
man. Girls.
I know.
Girls are, believe it or not, bro, girls are a little bit easier than boys. I've got two girls.
I've heard. I have my brother. I have two nieces, and my brother has two girls. So
Yeah.
and I have buddies. I've had girls, and they all tell me the same thing. We're like, bro, the biggest thing is that they get potty trained quick.
They get everything quick, bro. They
get everything quick. So
their mindset is way beyond a boy's mindset. They walk sooner. They talk sooner. They learn everything much quicker. I don't know if it's a girl thing or what.
Yeah, I mean, that's that girl power. That's that girl power.
Bro, you're gonna be butter in her hands, dude.
Oh my God,
guarantee it.
That's
guarantee.
I mean,
she will never do wrong in your eyes. Watch.
For sure. And I've always been the type that I was really bad back in the day with girls and all that stuff. So like a lot of those things come into play. It's like shit. There's gonna be guys that were just like me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, in her life, and it's
ready.
Oh my God, and
get ready.
And I always mess around with the wife. I was like, but she's gonna wear a skirt past her knees until she's 18 years old. You understand me? I will raise her Mormon if I had to.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But it's like raising a kid. You just gotta let them form their own character and their own way of doing things.
Just like we did, man. They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You can only guide them into somewhat of the right direction and let them make their own choices.
Sure. So basically, I'm in the verge of kind of merging with a truck accessory place that's been around for pretty much like 35 years. They did a lot of stuff in New York, and they opened up a spot here. And they're like pretty much one of the biggest in Florida or the East Coast for, truck accessories and race accessories.
Wow.
The owner's son, which is a good buddy of mine, his mom actually started the graphics department inside that shop, back in the early 90s, and he grew up in there. So, I've been doing work for him for like 2 years already, and the relationship is awesome. His thing is, they've been there for 35 years. So the track record and the client list is just phenomenal.
Established.
You're working there, you're doing a job there, and you see cars and trucks just go in and out all day, every day. So, his main income is in the whole parts and selling parts and all that. So I'm trying to get in there. Their main downfalls in the installs, and they see how quickly I turn around projects and how well I execute them. And they're moving next door. They have a 4-address building, and they're moving next door. They're shifting down to the middle, and we've been talking back and forth of a merger. They're building out a really nice shop. They're downgrading showroom but upgrading shop room, actual workspace and all that. And we've been in talks and trying to see if I organize the flow of this, because that's one thing I've always had. I always carried around like different print shops. I end up doing everything because I have done everything across the board. Maybe a few things that I haven't done, like electrical and like signs and fabrication, but I've been around it. And like screen printing and all that, I've also been around that. But across the board, as a sales guy, I knocked that out of the park, and I do the designs. I do really nice designs, especially after practicing for a little bit. I do some really pretty good designs. I think, what I'm saying?
You gonna get back into it?
No, not getting back into designs, but overseeing the flow of, of that shop.
Like production?
Exactly. Like from design to production, try to ease up a little bit of that to let it flow smoothly, and then build an install team, me being the head installer, of course, and getting somebody in that I could really, put my hand on and guide them. His wife is actually really good at install. For really getting into that just a couple years, like I see her installs and I'm like really good, dude.
Wow.
So I'm like, giving her everything I know and all the tricks and all that. So we could, fabricate a nice team. I'm trying to get somebody in there to do, the PPF stuff, which is a really big market out here that not too many actually people do out here, believe it or not. Because there's so many sign shops out there, but that's all they do is just signs and wrap. They don't do, the tinners are the ones that do the clear ball.
Right.
For me, you have your thing. So for me personally, I did a PPF job on the most hardest vehicle ever. If you guess which one that is.
Is it the Mercedes G-Wagon?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah.
G-Wagon, and it was a white G-Wagon.
Ooh.
I did the PPF job with a Brabus kit. My first one, I told the guy, it was a body shop that I did work for. I told him, I have never done this before. I've seen it. I've dabbled in it. I've done like a hood. But I'm not guaranteed. No, just do it. Just
the whole car?
Just a quarter. Just the front bumper, quarter of the hood, quarter of the fenders.
Okay.
Dude, I tell you what. From a couple of steps back, it looks phenomenal. But the closer you go, the closer you see the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Never again. I did it for him because it was a big favor. He needed it. I did it for him. Never again.
Yeah.
I tried window tinting once. Never again.
That's so funny. You're the second person that said no to a G-Wagon, the 4x4s. To PPF, bro. Wait till you hear next week's episode.
God.
I've got William Bryce from Rap Legends. He talks about the 4x4 he's doing and how much of a nightmare. He's doing PPF whole car.
Jesus Christ.
Whole car.
I don't
unbelievable,
understand.
dude.
I do not understand. I've wrapped several of them. I love wrapping them. Don't get me wrong. I love wrapping them. Only if somebody breaks it down completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
That's
for
like
me.
a whole day of disassemble. A whole day.
A whole day. Sometimes freaking 2 days, dude. A day and a half. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to the bar in the front and the crash bar and all that. You know what I'm saying? I have a couple of tricks. You don't really have to take the fenders off.
Really?
You just take out the little rubber molding in between the fender and the fender flare.
Yeah.
And you could get in on both sides beautifully.
Wow. Good little trick right there.
The little trick, taking off the moldings is, there are some that are bolted on, some that are adhesive. For the most part is double-sided tape.
Yeah.
So you get ready to order a new kit of that.
Oh yeah. They get ruined.
Forget about it.
They bend. Forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, strip it down for me completely. Let me come in, wrap it, take freaking 2 days to wrap the whole thing. Yeah. And you put it back together. I'm done.
Yeah, that's it. I'm walking away.
I've been fortunate enough to do work for, some big, automotive players out here. I've been fortunate to be around exotic cars for a while.
What's the craziest exotic you've wrapped that you're proud of?
Honestly, it's not the craziest, but it's the most expensive, which is Bugatti.
Bugatti?
Yeah, and that one I helped out a buddy of mine's do for Flowrider. It was actually his first wrap that he had done on his Bugatti.
Really?
Yeah, we did work, and I still do work for the exotic dealership that he would have, all these rap stars get their cars from, Rick Ross and all these people, Yo Gotti and all that.
Wow.
And we did his Bugatti in matte white. And I think I have a couple of pictures. You have to go like really far back to really see the pictures, but that was like that was like when the matte white was like the first, one of the first colors that came out, matte black, matte white, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted matte white,
Ugh.
but it's like the color I strongly suggest not to get.
Yeah, right. It sucks
I'm like, dude,
to install, man. You get one little thing on it, forget it, man. You ain't
it's
getting
ridiculous.
it out.
Dude, I tell all my clients they want matte white. Listen to me. The only time that this color is phenomenal is the second right after you wash it.
Right.
As soon as you drive off, that you get to wherever you got to get to, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Like everything, it's almost
Guaranteed.
like a magnet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. But it's like, it's crazy because it's like one of the freshest colors out. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I think? I think you almost have to laminate it with the matte again in order to preserve it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the finish is like the 3M one. I don't think the finish is like 100%. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like if you squeegee it wrong, you get a little kink, dude. It turns black and you ain't getting that out.
Oh no. Yeah.
That's it.
For sure.
Done deal.
For sure. That's one of the colors. I'm like not black and not white, or I don't even show those colors to clients really.
Yeah.
I show them the satins and the matte, and then the dead matte, and then the satin white and the satin pearl white. Yeah, but don't you have matte white? We're like, no, I think they discontinued it, man. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I mean,
the gloss works just as good. The gloss.
You want to go gloss? Let's do gloss. Satin pearl white, baby. You know it.
That's so funny.
You know what I mean? So it was cool. It's working for that place, and I still do work for them because I got to meet cool guys.
In the industry
and
rock stars.
Rap stars and all that. I did Yo Gotti's Corvette, and I did an Aventador for him.
There you go.
Like accents and stuff. Like all his cars are white. So, like, the cars that come with too much black, I just whiten it out and do all the stuff.
Wow.
Akon, I met him, over at another, customization firm, which is called the Auto Firm. I don't know if you ever heard of them out here.
That sounds familiar, the Auto Firm.
Yeah, they have a TV show, I think on the Velocity channel.
Oh, Velocity, yeah.
Yeah. That's Auto Firm with Alex Vega.
Yes. He actually runs a podcast too.
Yeah. I believe he does. We haven't spoken for a while, but we every once in a blue we run into each other and hey, what's up, and all that. But yeah, he's I was pumping out a lot of work for him.
Really?
A lot of work for him when he started, even before he started Auto Firm. You know what I mean? And dabbled a little bit also with other big players out in this area. And again, it all comes down to, who meshes well at the end and all the little,
building
little takes
networks.
here and there. And
yeah,
it's cool. It was definitely a fun experience, and I love him for bringing me in. And that was another guy that he was like, dude, this shop is yours. Whatever you want to do, have at it. You know what I'm saying? He was that type of person, which is which is awesome.
Yeah.
But
his business looks like pretty fun though too. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah, it is. It is really fun. And when I was working there, it was a trip. And we always trip out every single day there. It was fun. It was definitely fun. And that's what was like right before I went. With my cousin and ventured off with him, and we left that at that. I left them with a buddy of mine that installs, and they just I know you're not gonna send me the cars to my shop. Because you guys do everything in house, and here's, stay with this guy, start giving him the work.
Yeah.
And that's how I am. You know what I'm saying? If I like spreading it around. You know what I mean? I get people out here that come from other states, and I shoot them work if I have, you know what I mean? I have them, do something with me just so I could check you out a little bit and see what you do. And if we're meshing, if you're a good dude, you're humble and all that, then I'm giving you work. You know what I mean? And that's always been the type of person I am out here. You know what I mean? And that's why I have that bond with, these certain installers. That's why I still freaking have people from when I first started to people from now still, still mess with me
Right.
because of that. You know what I mean?
You built that relationship, built that bond.
Yeah,
Got
for sure.
years underneath your belt with these people.
Yep.
They trust you. That's what it's all about, man. It's not, you hear a lot, off and on the podcast or even on social media, everyone's undercutting everybody and,
Right.
nobody's like networking with each other anymore. And
Yep.
it's tough.
Yeah, it is. And the biggest thing out here, which is my biggest also thing, is a lot of people disappear.
Come and go.
You get a lot of come and go, but pretty much there's a lot of people out there. Like for me personally, dude, I don't care what the case. I don't care how much I want to avoid you. I answer my phone every single time. So a lot of people out there are like, oh, hey, listen, can you come and fix this? This didn't come out good. Oh, yeah, I'll be there then. Then comes around, nobody. Oh, I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. After the second time, it's just ring, ring, ring. Nobody picks up. And then that's the other thing that I have with all these people is like, and they tell me that. I was like, dude, no matter what, like when I call you, you freaking pick up. I'm like, dude, I mean, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? You're you know what I'm saying? You're helping me, take care of my fat. How am I going to avoid? If something went wrong, if I did something wrong with the install, I'm not perfect. I've run into scenarios where install has gone wrong, a panel or two. There's been twice in the hundreds upon hundreds, probably thousands of customer reps I've done, then 2 times that the vinyl has failed on me, and I don't know why, because I treat it, I do it the same every single time, and there's no reason why for this vinyl to act the way it's acting.
Well,
but
it's not user error. It's product error.
It can be because it's the way you go about it. It's just it's not when I first started either.
Right.
It had been recently in the past couple of years. You know what I'm saying? And you're going at it the same way as you go over everything. And you do everything, but shit happens. And I don't. Those 2 times or doing 2 times, I was like, bro, you know what? This and that, blah, 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 and I made a little fuss. But I usually be like, all right, fuck it. Let me go over the new material. Let me call them. Hey, look, this happens. Boom, boom, boom. Take it all off. Rewrap it right then and there. Come on, let's do it now.
Right.
Because you start procrastinating. You start going after, even though I have to come out of pocket for the vinyl to get the vinyl faster. And then in the background, I have, my wife or somebody deal with the manufacturer or whatever to get that roll replaced.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is to resolve this matter now.
Right.
And if I tell you, hey, listen, I'll be there Tuesday, 3:00. I'm Cuban. I might be there at 4:00, might be there at 5:00. But I will be there the day I tell you. Worst case scenario, I tell you, hey, listen, I got caught up, but I will call. I won't just disappear.
Right.
And then when you talk to me again, oh yeah, but my bad, but the thing was this and this and that and that. No. I reach out, my bad, I'm running late, things came up, I'll be here.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, it is. And that's the other biggest thing for me. And that's, I get the people telling me the same thing,
that's
you're
funny.
always, yeah. So it's cool. And that way I don't have, I've been the same since day one. It's just how I am and just how I like to run things. And I try to instill that on people that come around me, and, they learn from that. I got a buddy of mine that I've known for like 20 years I grew up with, and we found ourselves probably like I know, like 4 or 5 years ago, he was working at a sign shop. I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. You do this shit too? No way. And we started hanging out again. He left that company. He went on his own. I gave him, a little bit of the courage, to go out there and get his stuff. I started working with me. He had never done custom wraps before. The company was just strictly commercial. He does like one or two things, maybe custom, but he wasn't really 24/7 on it. He came with me 24/7. He started improving on the details and that. He started getting his own people. He started making his own clients, how to talk to people, how to grab them, and I like that. You know what I mean?
Teaching. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he shouts me out every once in a while, and shouts me out, and another buddy is started. We're a tight, we're a tight group. But at the same time, we know what's up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But we're tight, and we're most of them are socially productive, so they're out there. Like a good buddy of mine, Stickers. I ever heard Chris Soto.
Yep.
He's a really good friend of mine. I mean, he's freaking awesome. He's the most phenomenal designer I have ever seen. Don't tell him I said that though.
If he listens to the podcast, now you give him a little shout out.
Yeah. And Install Away, which is David, Mr. Miyagi. He's a real good friend of mine.
Mr. Miyagi. You know what?
Mr. Miyagi.
My boy been telling me about him. My boy Dan up here in Connecticut from Signs of Time. Is it Signs of Times or Loud Raps up here?
It's Loud Rap.
Yeah, Loud Rap. Dan, you know Dan?
Been socially with him, like on social media and stuff. I know his work and all that, but David talks to me about him, and that's where I first heard of Loud Raps. And he's also good friends with
Global.
He's also good friend. Global is a really good friend of mine.
Yep.
TJ, shout out to TJ. That's my boy right there.
Yeah. Me and him been talking on DMs for a little bit. That's kind of our connection. Is Dan's actually come down to Florida to help him install a couple things, and
right. Yeah.
He sent me a quick DM and was like, "Oh, I didn't know you know this person." He was saying he knew you with the podcast.
Yeah,
that's so funny. But I've heard this dude, Mr. Miyagi. He's got some stories. I heard.
He's been around the world, and you know what I'm saying? he loves to travel. He loves to travel and install. And he's been pretty much around pretty much the same time I have, and we all have. TJ's been around for a while too, and another guy that's in part of that group is Mojo from Signature Customs.
Yep.
And it's real humble dudes, dude. And it's like, those are, tight. We come together and we chilling and we joking, and then we kill it. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man.
And
it all goes back to everybody's got work. All these people within a few miles from you and all this stuff, and everybody's got their own gig going, and everybody's happy.
No, for sure. Everybody, that's one thing out here. We all know each other. We're all cool with each other. Tate is also a good friend of mine. I've known him for a minute.
Yep.
But we all have our client base. We all stick to our shit. We do our shit. We kill our shit. We've been doing it for a minute. I have been fortunate enough to have been doing it for as long as I have. I've been on my own for as long as I have.
Yeah.
To really supply people that are coming in now or has been for like 5-6 years to, show them stuff and give them stuff and all that. And that's how we all are. And that's how we all take it. Like I said, there's plenty of work to go around for everybody. Population here is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And it's that's why there's so many sign shops out there.
Yeah.
But
it helps when the weather's nice too, right?
It does help when the weather's nice. It does. I mean, I'm fortunate to be out here. We have pretty good weather. I personally don't like working under AC. I like, where I'm at now, dude, they're freaking polar bears, man.
Really?
They're out there in 70-degree weather. I'm there freaking with a sweater on there trying to wrap something, and it's fragile and it's brittle. I'm like, crap. So I have to wait until they leave at the end of the day so I could start working. You know what I'm saying? So I'll do like small stuff during the day, like break the car apart, clean and all that, get it ready. So when they leave, dude, I put that thing like on 78. I crack the doors a little bit, let it like warm up a little bit, and then I just start rocking and rolling. Because that's
awesome.
how I fly by the wraps, and I'll close everything back up. Gradually build the AC up so it won't freeze, and and that this is that's how it is. That's how I like working. And I'm there by myself. I pump the music. I'm an extreme hip hop fan.
There you go. What are you listening to hip hop wise?
Dude, I'm old school, dude. I'm a storyteller. Nas, KRS-One, Kumo D, favorite all-time band, Outkast. Shout out to Outkast. It's real storytellers. Beastie Boys, Run DMC. I break dance, so I came up on that real hip hop. Yep. You know what I mean? Tupac, Biggie, of course. You know what I'm saying?
You listen to Tribe? You listen to Tribe Called Quest?
Tribe Called Quest, come on. Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Black Star, Gangstar.
Gangstar, dude. That's where it's at, man.
Big L, digging in the crates.
Yep.
Nobody knows about DITC.
DITC?
DITC, digging in the crates. That's like Feel the Agony. It was Tash, Big L, a couple of other people in that group. The Alcoholics, which was also Tash. It was Exhibit was an Alcoholics too, which is the Liquid crew. And I'm telling you, that's old school, Be
Definitely.
real, forget about it. Cypress Hill, forget about it.
Yep.
That's where that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. That's what I constantly listen to.
There's nothing better than like being in your shop, in your garage.
Oh, for
just
sure.
Bumping that music, dude. It's almost like, for me, I always loved rapping with the music blaring. Like, I didn't care what anybody thought, but like, it put me in a zen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I don't know if you remember a movie called Biker Boys.
Biker Boys.
With Lawrence Fishburne. That they're like, this Lawrence Fishburne was like the the father figure of this young guy, but this young guy wanted to just straight up stunt and show off and do all this stuff.
It sounds familiar.
And when Lawrence Fishburne gets on his bike, he's ready to race, and he's like already 3, 2, 1. His tunnel vision, like you see how his tunnel vision just goes, and you see like it's a tunnel vision.
Yeah.
That's how I get when I'm like that. When I'm bumping music and I'm doing custom raps and I'm in the zone and I'm doing corners, dude, I just go like my tunnel vision just freaking shoots out, and and that's why I'm like I've been doing close-ups of my corner. I know corner game's strong. I don't know if it was Chucky that shout out to Chucky. That's my dog right there.
Chucky.
I don't know if he's the one that started with the corner game strong and all that, but I caught on to it quick, and I started doing extreme close-ups of corners, behind corners, what happens behind the corners and all that. Dude, I get so freaking focused on a corner. It's like ridiculous, you know what I'm saying?
Dude,
that's when I start,
I seen a dude on Instagram the other day. I don't know who it was, bro. But like, those little mirrors they use when you go to the dentist? Did they look underneath, like behind your teeth and shit? They had one of those like up behind a corner and then took a picture of it super close so you could see the back end of it. I thought that was the most funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, literally, you went and grabbed the mirror just so you could take a picture of that corner? Come on. Like,
yeah,
really?
For sure. Yeah.
That's too funny. But at the end of the day, it's all about quality, bro. And if you need to get to that point, if it's the music you gotta play to get you into that zone, to get you in that mentality of rapping, then so be it. Or if it's complete quietness, so be that too. But
yeah, for sure.
You got to get into that zone, and I think that's where the ADD comes in for us.
Yeah, that's exactly where it comes in. It's where it's at. It's getting in the zone and doing your shit and getting it done right. You know what I mean?
That's it.
It is what it is on that one.
That's it, man. Well, we're hitting the 2.5 hour mark here.
2.5 hours only? Oh, bro.
Damn.
Just getting started, son.
Right? Jeez, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. It's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I love being part of the rap society. As when shout out to Neo and all the admins, CJ and Marcos and Scapo and all that, and Christopher, running a really good platform where we could all come together, and get, ask questions and be there for each other and keeping it professional. And that's one thing I really love about that platform he's running. And, he's really strict on it. And it's, sometimes it's a little bit too, you know what I'm saying? But you have to understand and respect, and it's awesome. And, through there, I met some cool people and, designers that I work with, and Scotty, that's pretty much my main designer right now. Skepo has done a design for me for my show car and meeting old school people at the parties, and Jim and John Dover and, what I'm saying, Jeremy Connor and all that, and meeting people have been there for way longer than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's an awesome group. Love being part of it. I'm really active in it. I post like crazy on there. That's one thing about me. I'm like, I post daily on my Instagram. That's pretty much where you go to see. I don't have a website, because I'm like, kind of what I think about websites, like more for like, I don't know, like
corporate-y?
More corporate-y,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? More, you want to, if you're more artistic-y, then the social media route is the place. It's, it could be live. It's updated daily so easily. You don't have to, I had the WordPress thing that I had to, log in and then import the pictures and then paste them and the thumbnail and this and the upload.
Oh, I know that struggle.
So social media really made it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have it there because, and coming from somebody and coming from my brother that's done websites freaking 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Not having one is like, oh my God, but seriously, why?
Right.
I have it there. My brother's been after me for years to do something with it, but, I'm like, it's just, I like the social media thing. A lot of people are like, oh, well, can I see your work? Oh, you have Instagram? Yeah, I have Instagram. Who doesn't have Instagram? Say our face, whatever. You see, that's where you get all our daily posts. Instagram, Facebook, updated daily. You see everything I have been doing since I opened the accounts. And
well, it's a good portfolio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely a good portfolio.
Yeah, it's all photo based, and you're interactive daily with other people.
For sure.
Why not use it? And it's free.
It's free. Yeah. It sucks in a way that they, really kind of, because before when they started off, hashtags were more relevant and all that, and they've minimized that on the relevancy and all that, which, kind of sucks, but still, you could still reach out. They started doing the whole promoting thing, I guess,
right.
To really capitalize on something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They got to make money too at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Of course. For sure. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Like any business, you have to get revenue from somewhere. But yeah, I mean, that's my main go-to. That's where I direct everybody to. And it's, it's worked. It's there.
Is that where you usually, telling people to go to when they want to see your work, basically?
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, that's pretty much where I tell them. If worst case scenario, they're not that social media savvy. I'll send them some pics, through text,
Right.
which I've had. Have thousands of them on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was really big in the food truck when the food truck bomb exploded out here.
Right.
I was really heavy into that. I had a little 94 Accord that I had wrapped and lit it up with strobes everywhere, and I used to join these food trucks at the rallies.
Was that the one with the camo? A little bit of camo on it?
Yeah, that's the one with the little with the camo. It had it was first a two-tone white and black with hustlerats.com on it, and then I did a black, red, and white camo, and then I did a black, blue, and white camo.
I remember that.
On it, and it was decked out with lights, and I'll be at pretty much almost all the food truck events, lit it up, and I got out of business through the food trucks that way. Until I started getting a little too crazy with it, because these food truck guys, they want like 6 or 7 different designs and only 3M, but pay for like Arlon prices. I was like, whoa, that's not how it works. Hold on, that's not how it works. So yeah, it was a good run. It was a good run. It was a good learning curve for me. Learning all those types of food trucks that are out there. I know it was awesome. It's a lot of square footage. That's what I'm all about.
But it's good. It's good, like flat panels, man. I mean, you could rip through a freaking food truck in a day.
For sure.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
Sure.
So what do you got planned for this year? Basically, you think you're gonna merge with that trucking parts company?
Yeah, I'm still back and forth. We're ironing out some details. Still talking every time I go there. We'll talk a little bit. They're still building out the new place, so I know their whole energy and focus is on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, then we'll start seeing what we can do. It'll be cool for me, especially with my little girl coming in June, so I can have something just steady. I can just have a home base for a little bit. So it's a little bit, it's not closer to me, from my house than the other place,
mm-hmm.
but the travel is a lot faster.
Right.
Because there's no traffic going to that place, so there's heavy traffic going to where I'm at now.
Damn.
So the travel is a lot easier. But I mean, it's especially when the first 2 years are gonna be hard with the newcomer. So I like to be having a home base, with easy access to the house, coming to and from.
Right.
And just having something steady, just being there all the time. I mean, they do a buttload of small jobs, chrome deletes, and they do a shit ton of bumper deletes, because they do so many trucks, and all those trucks from bumpers. They're always blacking them out or cutting, matching it, and doing, a whole bunch of stuff. The emblems, they do the Ford, they do a bunch load of Ford Raptors, so we do the letters in the front, it says Ford, in the back to color match the car. Yeah. All the small stuff, roofs and stuff, mirrors, and then we get the the large projects. We got the movie set. He's a good buddy of his. Finds and rents movie sets, vehicles.
Okay.
And and whatever the vehicle needs to have on them, we go ahead and do it. We did the whole police force for the Versace show that aired probably a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I just heard about that.
Yeah, the Andrew Cunanan. That show, we did a couple of police cars and SWAT cars for that, and we recently did when I was extremely sick not too long ago. I got the flu and upper respiratory infection in January, and then a few weeks ago I got hit up with a freaking pneumonia in the lung.
Yeah, so I saw that. You were in the hospital for a while.
Yeah, not for a while. It was for a day. Thank God. But yeah, during that time, you know, I was still trying to, because they had a lot of stuff going on. So I tried to make myself go and help them out. So I helped them out with the red Maserati that they used for like 2 hours, and then they removed it.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool things like that. That you know that go on there that could keep me busy, you know, for weeks and months and all that, and also like, you know, my client list that I could run through there and all that, just so I could have a steadiness, you know, just for those, you know, first 2 years of, you know, my little girl being born and adapting to that, and then we'll see what happens after that. Once it gets easier with the little one, then, you know, if it's going great there, wonderful. It's, you know, if not, I'll go back to where, you know, where I'm at now, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Doing work for other shops. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's the other thing that's awesome about it, and especially now, is just doing something different every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's, you know, and I know working at a place, it's always like, so it's different every day, but it's like you're at the same place every single day.
Yep.
So it could kind of get a little, you know what I mean? So,
Tiring.
you know, yeah. So doing on sites is pretty cool, because you're, you know, a different spot and all that. As long as, you know, as long as like everything is good, and you have a place to do it inside of, and all that, you can have a controlled atmosphere.
Right.
Then it's all good there.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
But, you know, no, you can't. You know, we'll see. Hopefully we get to. They have a pretty a little bit looser mentality of clients. Like, they like getting a little crazier than most, you know, with
Yeah.
the trucks and stuff. And they look pretty cool stuff, and different color combinations and all that, which is cool. You know, so it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah. I hope that all works out for you for the long run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Especially you won't have to wait to hustle and get those other jobs to come in. This will be a nice consistent flow of work.
Definitely. Definitely.
You know?
But yeah, it's all gravy. It's
Cool,
all
man.
gravy. I know whatever it is, you know, I keep true to who I am. You know, I'm always gonna be good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no
I'm
matter
always
what.
gonna have, yeah.
That's a good thing about this industry. It's that you can pretty much do whatever you want. Realistically.
Yeah.
Work
Yeah,
for
for
somebody, work freelance, you know, just be mobile, have some, you know, have a shop, whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's definitely. So yeah,
Cool, man.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man. Dude, I cannot thank you enough for being on the podcast, bro. I know we talked a little bit
honor.
on like Facebook, and this all happened real quick. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure. Definitely honor, and dude, like, honestly, I love your accent, dude. I don't know if I told you that, but
I get it all the time.
I have a thing for Boston accents. Me and the wife, we love watching freaking like Boston type of shows.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And the Wahlbergs, and, you know, and all that, and
True
and
Blood. What's that movie with the cops?
That's Blue
Bloods.
Blood.
Yeah.
Blue Blood with
Yeah.
Donnie Wahlberg. You know what I'm saying? There was another cop one there. I forgot the name of it. I think it's Boston something, or Boston's Finest, is it? Something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
That I love that show. That show is shit.
That's so funny.
I've always funny enough, I've always wanted to be a cop.
Really?
You know, funny that me, such a troublemaker, always wanted to be a cop. I've always been. I don't know if you remember New York Undercover.
Yes.
Freaking years ago, dude, I was so infatuated with New York Undercover.
That's so funny.
I would act out scenes in my house, like freaking Boston and all that. I really wanted to become an undercover cop.
That
you know
is
what I mean?
So funny.
And, you know, but it didn't end up that way. But I did actually grow up with you know, with those that are police officers now and stuff, and all that. So it's cool being around that. But yeah, I've been really heavy was really heavy into that new undercover thing. I wanted to be undercover cop, man.
Oh
My
man,
God.
that would have been my ultimate goal. After I got out of the industry, probably almost 3 years ago,
Right.
I actually signed up to be a police officer. So I took my Massachusetts State Police and Massachusetts Police Academy test. And
Really?
I got on the list, and now I'm just kind of sitting back and waiting. I think right now, when I first had figured, I think this was last September when I got my scores back, I got like an 86 or something like that. I ended up being in my local town. I ended up being number 64 or something like that.
Really?
On the list.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a while for you to get on. I probably, to be honest with you,
I'm sure.
I'll probably never get on because I'm already at that brink of the age limit. At 35.
Right.
And I think come next year, I'm going to have to retest again in order for me to stay on the list. And, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, you know?
Really?
I would have loved, you know what it
That's
is?
awesome.
I wish I would have done it sooner and just been on the list for a long time and waited for my name to be called, because that's how they go. You know, veterans and people like that have like served get put at the top of the list first.
Right.
And I couldn't even tell you how many people were first in line, you know what I mean? And they just go down the list, you know what I mean? They've hired numerous people here in my town, in the last like 3 years. They every academy, 4 to 6 people go through, 4 to 6, and it happens every 4 months. So they've, you know, all the old school guys that are retiring now are almost all completely gone. They're all like my age. My friends are there now, you know? So I might have missed the boat on it. I would have, you know, I did it to prove to myself that I could take the test and actually, cause I don't test well. When it comes down to test, forget about it, man. I stress myself out. No, man, it sucks. And I proved to myself that I could take a very intense 3-hour test.
Wow.
And get on the list. And you know what? The other day, I'm proud of myself for getting on the list. You know what I mean? I would have loved to serve. I'm a big server, man. I love helping people out. And I think that's a big reason why I started the podcast. And you know, everything happens for a reason. I might not be able to get on, but you know what? I get a great podcast. I'm building a network. I'm building relationships, building a friendship with, you know, everybody in the industry. And to be honest with you, you know, I love this. I love talking to people, man. I do. So, so that's hilarious. You brought that back to the Boston police, Boston PD, and all that stuff. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, let me ask you.
Talk to me.
What's up with them Wahlburgers?
Dude, bomb.
Are they?
Bomb. I think it's the bread, bro. It's not so much the burger's nice, but the bread, dude, I don't know, whatever they do to the bread, bro, is unbelievable. Yesterday, so me and my fiance were in Boston. We were going to pick up my cousin up at the airport, and she was running a little late. We went to go eat at Shake Shack. Do they got that down in Florida?
They actually started popping up over here.
They're like the equivalent of like In-N-Out kind of deal, you know what I mean? But their burgers, bro.
Like In-N-Out. It's like Steak and Shake type of stuff. Yeah.
It's all the same shit, man. But Wahlburgers, if you're ever in Boston, bro, or ever, I know they opened up a bunch
supposedly they opened one in Orlando. Or
try it out, bro.
I don't know what.
You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, well, as fans of the show, me and the wife, we were always like, I mean, and me being a freaking burger connoisseur.
There you go.
I've always been, you know, wondering. I was like, you know, first thing I went to the one in Vegas, I was like, yeah, we're going to White Castle.
Yeah.
And the very next day, we're going to In-N-Out.
Yep.
And trying the burgers. And you know, I've always wondered that.
Yeah, no, I don't think you'd be disappointed. I forget what type of burger I get from there. I want to say it's the Donnie one. It's
Okay.
like cause each one of the brothers.
Each one of the brothers has
their own. Yeah. Like, I
Right,
think
right.
Mark's got the Thanksgiving dinner one.
Okay.
Yo, dude, it's like literally
that's cool.
like legit Thanksgiving dinner, like the turkey, the stuffing, the everything, bro.
Jesus.
Yeah, you won't
That's
be disappointed.
Crazy.
Either way. Oh
That's
my God.
crazy.
Yeah, love it.
A couple of guys talking about burgers now.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man, with the podcast.
Yeah,
You get to
for sure.
talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's awesome. I enjoy listening to all of them.
I appreciate
from work.
that.
I'm just bits and pieces and stuff and all that, and it's cool. And like I said, it's cool to be in touch with those in the industry, and those are doing stuff, and those are not. It's across the board.
Right.
If you're in it, and you're in it with a passion, you have that passion for it, because this touches a little bit on one time that I dabbled in training a little bit once a few years ago, and I couldn't. I mean, I stuck through it, but I mean, I could teach you basics, but I can't teach you how to be good.
Right.
So that's one thing for me that I've never wanted to really do. I have manufacturers and all that wanted me to take me to the islands and all that, which is there's a big need for training in the islands, Bahamas and Turks and Caicos and all that. And they always want to take me out there, but it's like, I'm not a good, I mean, I could show you squeegee technique, which for me is like supreme in my list of rapping. I can show you squeegee techniques. I can show you trips, tricks, tips and all that. I just can't teach you how to be good.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that goes, back to the whole certification thing. It's just, you pass it. Let's say you pass it, with not so flying colors, but borderline and all that. And you still get it certified, and you're represented as to be certified by 3M, this and that. But then you do subpar work, which I've seen a lot out here. And, a lot of the times it's a company that gets certified, never the installer. The owner will go get certified, but, just want to get that certification name and their name in the thing and just hire hourly installers that are not certified.
Right.
That's what they, and that's why you see those that are, quote unquote, 3 certified, but you look at their work and it's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, and it also goes, the other way too, where some certifications have been given out and, some reason the quality isn't there either. It happens.
Yeah.
It definitely happens.
It definitely does. And, I go back and forth, like this couple posts on the Rap Society of the whole, of the whole trying to standardize things.
Yeah.
It's in any trade to standardize something. It's just,
it ain't gonna happen.
It is not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. There's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah. There's way too many people.
Yeah.
I don't want to say there's way too many people in the industry, because the industry is still so small, but there's way too many people in the industry to now start changing things and adding compliances that it's never going to work.
Definitely. At the end of the day, we need that.
Yeah.
The best out there, and the people who do quality work and people who do work and good people, they need people like that.
Well, the closest thing to standardizing this craft to a point is the certification. That's when I feel like, and I think this will come up in a later on podcast, or even one that's already passed, that, I think it's not fair to it's almost like getting your driver's license. Every 4 years, you got to renew it. I feel like if you get that certification, I think maybe you should try to do something to keep the standard up
where every 4 years you got to renew it. You lose it if you don't take it, but you can come back and test for free to get it renewed. That's it.
Quality checks.
That's it.
You guess surprise quality checks. I mean, they have the funds to fly somebody out.
They should. They should.
You know what I'm saying? If they really want to be strict and they really want to
but at the end of the but I think at the end of the day, man, to be quite honest with you, I don't think the manufacturers give a shit. After they leave,
the money.
It's I mean, I'm not gonna say that's what it is because it could be a multitude of things. But at the end of the day, they got the certification, another guy out there, and you know what? We probably get a lot more good than we do bad. Don't get me wrong. We probably do get a lot more good than we do bad. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to go beyond that extra step because it's out of their hands. For them to come into a shop and be like, yeah, we're going to pull your certification because that last rep you just did ain't going to work. You know what I mean? For them to do that, I don't think they can. But to keep up the certification, to put an expiration date on it, I think you should reinvest yourself every few years like that.
Just like getting ASC certified.
Yes.
I mean, my dad's been ASC certified for 30 years. He got his 30-year badge.
Yeah.
And dude, it's like I think it's every year, or every other year, every 3 years, one of the two. But you know, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? And what you know, what they could get out of that is, damn, what have you learned?
Right.
From, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
From this.
And it's not even just that. It's the material changes every 2 years?
I've been saying it for a while, and I throw it out there. Vinyls have become so much easier for the end user to install.
Right.
That's how everybody's getting in here.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's mounting up because, oh my God, you just lay this like that, like glass, like YouTube showed me, and you squeeze it and it's on there. It's, you know what I'm saying? There are little tips and tricks. Of course, they're going to be missing, you know, but they'll probably get that further along if their passion is there.
Imagine,
and they want to continue that.
Right, but imagine if all the films were like, for instance, like KPMF.
Yeah, KPMF, Arlon.
Yeah.
Oracle.
No DIY guy is going to want to deal with putting that on like that.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
And you know, not for nothing. It is what it is. But you know what? Some adhesives are a little bit easier to work with. Some are not.
It is.
But it can be applied easily with a certified person or someone who knows what they're doing.
Right, of course.
There's nothing wrong with putting an expiration date on your certification.
Right.
You know what I mean? Treat it for what it is. It's a certification. Yeah. You should have to keep up with it.
That's hopefully that's something that you could repeat, you know,
moving forward.
That's
going to be high.
Keep repeating as much as possible until they freaking listen and they just implement something along those lines. You know what I mean? Right. Because it's like we all know it's going to get to a point where, you know, it's growing. It's growing. It's like, you know, what plumbing was before everybody was a plumber. And, right. You know, and you have unions and contractors, and, you know, contractors and everything. You know, it'll get to there. I can
only hope that, you know, as small as I am with the podcast in the industry, I can only hope that, you know, people from Avery, people from 3M, people from Oracle, Arlon, KPMF, whoever the manufacturers may be that put out these types of certifications are listening to the people that are spending the money on getting these certifications in order to benefit them. If anything, this is helping, you know, us as a whole, where we're building, you know, these little blocks, and all they have to do is be implemented. We're not able to do that. We can only put our 2 cents in. I'm a big advocate to ask what people like about the programs, but I also want to know what they don't fucking like. Because that's the type of shit you want to take out. You don't like that, or you want more time
to talk about more of the business end of wraps,
Right.
let's add another 30 minutes to that part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. For sure.
Just to help. You know what I mean? I hope that they can take away a little bit of this and implement it a little bit towards classes. I mean, I know they have that new boot camp from Avery. It's all business.
And that 3M mobile thing.
Yeah, man.
Down.
That's huge. That's huge.
It is. And that's like a big step. Like, you know, when I first read about that, I was like, holy shit,
now you don't have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
They come to you.
And I really hope they really double the size of that and have at least 3 going around the United States.
Imagine that. One on the West Coast, one on the East Coast.
On the Central.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And just get everybody certified. Make it easier for everybody to get certified at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And then to get recertified.
Yes. There you go. Boom. You show up. Here's your recertification. Let's go.
Yeah.
Done.
Either that or like ASC does. They assign a school that's where you go to do the testing.
Yeah.
They tell you to go to a particular school. You pick one from the list. You're enrolled there.
That's it.
You
Nothing wrong with that. I don't think, me personally, I don't know if that would be the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it. I like getting everybody's opinion.
Right. Yeah, for sure. There's really no way of you knowing 1,000% how something is going to work until it gets done, it gets tried out, and they get from it what they need, whatever study they need, and they make the decision, either drop the program or let's blow it up a little bit.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's getting feedback and able to gather information, intel,
right,
about the situation and making it better at the end of the day. I'm hoping I'm gathering enough information to help everybody out with certain things, you know?
And the other thing is that I really do feel, a little bit strongly also of increasing the amounts of an installer like me or a shop like mine could get vinyl than a regular Joe to get vinyl. You know what I'm saying? Because the difference dude, they're getting it around.
Not much.
It's not much. Dude, it's like, it's scary not much.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it.
It's
tough.
I mean? Like, where you get your vinyl from?
My majority, the majority distributor is Fellers, of course, because I have 2 locations within friggin' 25 minutes of my house.
Wow.
So it's, for the ease and comfort, it's been Fellers. Before that, it was just regular sign shop before Fellers had, a location here. Once they jumped on board, I had heard of them. And then they opened up the place up and they were stocking colors and won me over just like that.
Yeah. I
opened so much accounts for the rep. One of the first reps that was around this area. I gave him so many accounts. I was, in the beginning of it, I was, not recognized, but thanked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, of course, after a while, it's just, the reps leave and other reps and then reps leave and other reps and all that. And it all gets, but yeah, as far as getting the stuff right then and there, Fellers, every once in a blue, I'll call up Metro and, and give them some questions up there and trying to get some, I've gotten SOT from there.
Yeah.
Cause, the only place where I could get SOT. But I've really tried, and now I hear that they're opening one up here. I think in Jacksonville or somewhere. I think in the East Coast. I think somewhere. I think Chris was telling me.
I think it might be up towards me, possibly like New York. I
New
think.
York?
New York, New Jersey, or something like that.
have a,
Don't quote me on it, but I'm almost
right. I have a
positive.
feeling it was like up by like Tallahassee, Jacksonville type of. I don't know why I have that feeling. It was like more closer to me.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
Don't quote me on that one either.
We'll find
but
out.
yeah, it's definitely a step towards, to try to, get because they're more, they're more like I am, more personal.
Right.
With their clients and all that.
Smaller group of people that work in the
smaller
office.
Group. Right.
You probably get your stuff from Vegas though, right? You don't get it up from Michigan.
No, yeah, from Vegas, I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Vegas is the one I get it from. That's the OG one, right? The Vegas one?
No, I think that's the one he had opened. His OG one is up in Michigan, I think.
Michigan. Oh, okay. All right.
Don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
I'll have to look back on my notes, but I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I mean, they're cool people. And I try to get them, but as long as I have the two sellers minutes away from me, but for like custom stuff and all that I could probably use and stuff, I get it, I'll get it from them. Like I said, I have printers anywhere I go, especially where I'm at. They just recently got an HP.
Right.
I have it to my disposal. I run them. So it's if I didn't have it, yeah, of course I'll go to them and have them give me, the custom camouflage and the custom prints that I like to
do. And who designs it for you prior to you printing?
I have a couple of people out there for the most part. I think I mentioned it earlier, Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty Bollinger from SB Wraps.
Okay.
He designs for me for the most part. Every once in a while I, get, bored and I'm like, let me design this business card right quick. And like, I've always had a gift in design.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll get as much information I can from the client, everything that I need. And I have a very good percentage rate of getting my designs approved, like right off the bat. I mean, you're going to have some minor text changes and movements, but like overall design, I've been like pretty good at getting it approved, like first shot. So that's just like one thing about, so I know how to relate that to a designer so that he could give to me exactly what I would have done. And I know I was going to get, I try to do that to make it easier for, in this instance, it's easier on Scotty. It's easier for me. It's faster for me to get stuff approved, printed, and then installed. You know what I mean? So I try to make the flow as easy as possible. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard being solo and taking on all that. That's why, I started letting go of the designs and all that. But for the most part, yes, I have a good buddy of mine who's actually posted up an image on Instagram that he made. I posted on the Rap Society that I loved this so much. I was like, dude, you have to create this so I can wrap my car. So you're gonna have to. Yeah, you're going to have to somehow, because I got that screenshot and I duplicated it and I mocked it up the way, because I wanted the bits and pieces to be a certain proportion. Like, dude, this is the proportion I need. Create it, make it seamless, and whenever you can. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a really, really good friend of mine from, growing up. Really good graffiti writer, and what he did was he is like an abstract of the negatives of letters.
Really?
Which is crazy. Dude, I saw it and I was like, dude, this thing is beautiful. Beautiful. So he's creating that for me and I'm excited to do that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's pretty much who I used to do that. And worst case scenario, I'll dabble in design,
There you go.
Installs, I do the same whenever I can, and I'm doing too much, I sub them out. You know what I mean? They hook me up. I try to make a quarter off of a quarter or 50 cents or, something. I kick back. Maybe I'll give you this. Give me $50 or whatever, try to, but the house always has to stay on top. You know what I mean? In any scenario, this is how business is.
You gotta stay in the black.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, of course, for sure. So, but for the most part, for like the real close ones to me, I just give them the work and they do the stuff. I just do nothing. But guys, I try to get something there. But yeah.
Cool, man.
It's,
little by little, day by day.
That's how it is. Step by step, day by day.
Oh man, this has been an absolute. I've had so much fun talking to you.
No, for sure, dude. I feel like I've only been talking to you for like 5 minutes.
Dude, bro, honestly, where can you go and sit with somebody and talk for 3 hours? Nowhere. A complete stranger, nonetheless.
Yeah, well, I've been pacing back and forth my house for the past 3 hours. Like, seriously, like, when I get lost in a phone call or something, I just I drill holes on the floor for all the walk back and forth. I'm surprised you haven't heard my wife, stop walking around.
No. See, I'm locked in my seat and right in front of my computer when I do these. So I'm going nowhere.
Right.
I got my little water with me. You know what I mean? I'm good to go.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so funny.
My eardrums are on fire.
Yeah, I bet for 3 hours. Holy shit.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. It's all for the passion. It's all for the love of what we do.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
It's an industry I love, and it's pretty much the only thing I know how to do.
Yep.
Do well. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, you put enough time, put enough hours and years into your craft, man. You've done a lot, and man, I mean, it shows in your work, bro. I mean, you've got a great work mentality. You put 100% into what you're doing. You're networking. You're humble as fuck. I can tell.
I try to do it. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but
you're wicked down to earth too. I mean, we talked. For sure. I mean, we obviously talked a little bit before the podcast, before we went live, man.
Right.
Having laps prior to that, and I can't thank you enough to come on and take the time out. I know family's a big thing for both of us, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk to me for a little bit.
No, man, I'm deeply honored, and I feel awesome. I love when I talk like this. When me and Scotty first started talking, it was like freaking like hour-long conversations and stuff every other day, and anybody I talk to that has that same passion, or anything, that's me.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You definitely know you mesh well, and it's like freaking, it's like looking at your phone, it's like, whoa, hold up. What? You know what I'm saying? It's like at the beginning of any relationship when you're first dating,
Yep.
You're there freaking 3, 4, 5 in the morning. It was like, what?
Yeah, where'd the time go,
crazy. Girl? Crazy, man.
Well, brother, is there anything that we probably didn't talk about other than like burgers and new careers and shit like that?
I mean, don't get me started. I have another 3 hours here.
Yeah. Oh shit.
No, I mean, I'm sure. Well, we've dabbled in a lot of things. Hopefully, I don't like. My wife always tells me that like I say things in a way where I might not mean to say it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's like one big issue of mine that I have. Every once in a while, I will just throw it. I'm sarcastic as shit, dude. I'm extremely sarcastic. And I'm so sarcastic, but I do it with such a serious face that you like, is this guy
Is he real?
Is he
faking?
Is he real right now? I don't know what's going on. Oh my God. But dude, it's like, that's how how I am, dude. I'm a freaking big kid.
That's
freaking
awesome.
ride GoPed still. I take my kids out on a 4-wheeler. I just have fun with them. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Enjoy through them.
Exactly.
You know,
vicariously through them back to your childhood, you know.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Hoping, you know, at the end of the road, you did what you had to do. Everything turned out the way it should, you know, and that's it. That's all you could hope for.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, man, dude, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, brother. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Social media, Instagram, House of Raps. Facebook, also House of Raps. For some reason, I have 2 House of Raps on Facebook. It's like a House of and then Raps. And then I have a House of Raps all separated. In the meantime, I you know, everything is linked, so everything gets posted daily. I try to do it daily. It's what I do. And that's pretty much it. Just chilling out here in South Florida with this beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather, man. So jealous.
You know, living it up, and I know. I don't even want to know the things you guys go through in the cold, and
you don't want to know.
Chucky and Knops, and oh my God, I don't know how they
do it. Chucky gets it worse than me. He's still in like 30-degree weather, 20-degree weather right now.
He's still there. Jesus Christ. I do not understand.
We hit 65 today in Boston, so I'm happy that spring is finally bloomed.
Oh, for sure. So that's like beach weather for you guys.
Yeah, dude.
For sure.
Shorts and a t-shirt's like 45.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Exactly. Out here, 45, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Dying of cold.
Yeah, you guys get whipping out the winter coats over there.
Yeah, oh my God, winter coats, plural.
Oh, shit.
You know, but yeah, that's one thing I've always wanted to do is see snow. I haven't been there yet, but I've always wanted to go to New York, so that's one of my main things.
Come up here in January, bro. Guaranteed to see it.
Yeah, because if I make a trip for that, I have to be guaranteed. I have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've heard of people going over there and they go the week that it doesn't snow.
Oh.
And they're like, you know.
Oh, you know where you could go actually and you could find snow probably sooner than that would be up in New Hampshire. You can go skiing up there in December. Yeah, they close it down. They put artificial snow out. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They blow. Cool. They've got these huge blowers and they just blow water through it, cold water.
Right. Oh,
and it just instantly turns into snow and they get,
man, that's nice.
Then you can go skiing a little early.
Damn, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Put that on my bucket list.
There you go. You can go skiing for your first time if you haven't been skiing yet.
Nope.
No.
No skiing in Florida.
No skiing
unless you're water skiing.
Yeah, that's about it, right?
You know, jet skiing maybe.
Unreal.
But you know, it's cool. It's. I mean, born and raised here. It's what I know.
Yeah. Get out of your bubble, man. I hope you're trying to make a trip to RapsCon this year.
No, man. I mean, I really can't. You know, with the
newborn. That's right.
Yeah, and the move and all that.
Yep.
I wish. Hopefully next year they bring it back a little bit closer to Indy where they first did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they do that next year, that'll be like a for sure thing right there.
Yep.
And then I really want to do SEMA. Probably not next year, but the following.
There you go.
That's for me. It's just a freaking kid in a candy store. Just, you know, I go for the cars.
Right.
That's, you know, every time I went over there, I start from all the way to the right where the car is in and work my way to the left, and to the left is where all the vinyl stuff is. And you go to the vinyl guys first. You're there for an hour talking to each and every one. Next thing you know, it's 4:00. You have an hour to walk 2 million square feet.
Yeah, right.
So, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely another trip. I really want to take on the RapsCon that I've been really wanting to go ever since it first came out, and I haven't been able to go. But hopefully they do bring it back to Indy, which would be closer for me.
We could put the recommendations in with Dan.
We could.
Rugs.
Yeah. Shout out to Rugs. That'll be cool. It's keeping it central. It's a lot easier for anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because from the east to go all the way that far west, good Lord.
Hey, man, it's a 6-hour plane flight for me, but I'm okay. It's good weather on that side, man. I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Once you're there, sure.
Yep.
That is definite.
Worth the trip.
Right. But, I mean, we're going to start talking about weather for like another hour.
Yeah, right? Unbelievable.
That's how it is.
Yep. That's why I love this medium, man.
Yeah, man. It's a blast. It's a blast talking about it. You could tell by the clock ticking. I could keep talking about it forever. You know what I mean? So whenever you want to do
Part two, yeah. For sure.
I'll put some keynotes of stuff we may have not talked about, or maybe elaborate on some other things a little bit more.
Yeah, hopefully by then we'll talk about your little one and your new fresh place and everything.
For sure.
So.
Definitely, my brother. Definitely.
Sure,
You keep up doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Definitely, dude.
You know what I mean?
I absolutely wish you well for 2018, brother. I best of luck
Likewise.
with the little one coming.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And definitely, I'll be putting in a couple good words for your new shop. Working with that company and everything. So,
sweet. Yeah.
Wish you well, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Everything but good things for everybody across the board.
Definitely, brother. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it again. I can't thank you enough. And
honestly, dude, the pleasure was all mine, brother.
We'll talk. We'll definitely talk soon again.
Awesome. Sounds good, my brother.
All right, my man.
Thank you, man. Been real.
Thank you to everyone for tuning into the podcast, and thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to the 3rd annual Raps VIP event in Long Beach, California on August 3rd. Make sure to head over to their website at www.rapsvipevent.com for more information. And thank you to all our listeners. If you liked our content, share it. Give us a rate and review. Till next time, folks, that's a wrap.